Is your happiness true? Is it time to do a poo? I know, I can't help myself. That has to be the rhyme. Has to be the rhyming structure. And that was also a reference to my original Final Fantasy XIII song, which was, my happiness is true. I've had a massive poo. It's big, it's long, it's brown. Oh, fuck, it won't flush down. Do you have to lower the tone immediately every single time? Yes. Yes, I do. We are about to start. Theoretically, it should pop up on the screen. Go on. Don't be a bad game. Don't be a bad game. There we go. Marvellous. It is popped up on the screen. Motomo Toriyama. Greeny Castle. That's not a person, by the way. There's not a person there called Greeny Castle. There's an actual Greeny Castle. And an icy throne. Do you? It's slightly frost-like as well, isn't it? No, yes. Oh, I thought you meant you just saw a throne. No. Icy throne. It's a throne made of ice. Or rather, it's a throne encased in ice. Technically, the throne itself, I don't think, is made of ice. Shintaro Takai. Surprised by my own pronunciation. Didn't intend for it to necessarily be like that. It just sort of happened. Tetsuya Nomura. The man, the myth, the legend. And the possible madman, in fairness, as well. But oh, spoiler alert! That's one of our protagonists. Can't quite remember his name. I can't. It begins with an N. I can't quite remember if it's Noel or Noah. I think it might be Noel, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if this cutscene is just a sort of here's what you're to expect, or whether this is actual sort of beginning pertinence. I never know that with these RPGs. So, do you know what? I'm going to just let it. I'm going to let it flow. I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to have a fun time. Well, I say, it's possibly inappropriate point in time to say we're going to have a fun time, isn't it? Since he's just clearly lost the love of his life, one assumes. You know, he wants to break it down. Break it all down. Break it all down. The man in purple. He does have magnificent hair, doesn't he? Oh, loads of monsters. And he suddenly has an army of monsters as well, because why not? At the moment, it's just a very random feeling, because there was no context to this cutscene. It's just sort of happened and started, and you know, if it is meant to be the beginning of the game cutscene, the literal opening cutscene, it really is like, and here's a woman you recognise doing things you don't understand, and here's a man you don't know doing things you don't understand. Here's the Shiva sisters, but clearly not the Shiva sisters because they're not really ice anymore and they're all dressed in red. Here's a bunch of sort of like, they're devilishly like sort of bug type things, aren't they? They do make me think of something else, but I can't quite put my finger on my brain. But that's because it won't push through my eardrum. All the theme song was by Charisse. I assume you call it Charisse. Otherwise it's char ice, which I suspect is possibly difficult. Usually if you char ice it melts or explodes, dependent on how badly the temperatures are. But it's good to see Odin there, of course. And as I say, I can't remember who that bloke is. Which is slightly inconvenient perhaps, but nonetheless. Theoretically, we'll find out as we play the game. But right this very moment, I can't tell you his name because I can't remember it. She still has a magnificent sword. You wondered where I was going with that, didn't you? I wondered where I was going with that as well. But no, it's still got a certain amount of the foldability, I think, but now got extra bits. And a very fancy armour. I mean, it's so much more traditional fantasy armour for lightning there, isn't it? And it's interesting. Yeah, those two are Mr. Purple Hair and Lightning. And yet, Mr. Purple Hair and Lightning really, like, for the fact that they are the logo and they're like the focus, it's a little bit sort of like, well, they don't do that much, I don't think, because your primary thing is you are playing as Sarah and this Noel or Noah fella, whoever, I can't remember his name, so we'll have to wait and see. Battle difficulty normal, yeah, that'll probably do nicely. Auto battle command such as attack, yeah, it's probably fine. Target selection from a list, yeah, that's equally probably fine. Via cursor, no, via a list is fine. Keyboard settings, gamepad controls, they're probably all good, aren't they? Which I suppose arguably, on-screen buttons, I think controller type would be more appropriate, since I am in fact using a controller. Let us see. I think everything appears to be on the screen. Yes, indeed. Right, just double check that did take. Because sometimes it's difficult to know whether they want you to save the settings or auto-saves the settings or what have you. I see, here we go. This is what happened on Final Fantasy XIII. How long is this? Oh, okay. Oh, hello.
The populace live a life of ease under the protection of almost godlike beings known as
I don't know if we really need the backstory of Final Fantasy XIII because this game has such little. I know I said that a lot last time, but there's a little bit because obviously you are moving slightly forward, but I don't know. It really doesn't feel as connected as it perhaps should. It would have been nice had it been just a sort of continuation, but it's not. It sort of is, but isn't. Is but isn't. Blarg. Okay, there we go. Oh, could I think possibly I can just push down. Maybe there is an arrow there, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can push down. I'll have a bit more volume in the background there, I think. It's quite nice that the fact that they did put this little extra in. I suppose it's quite useful if you didn't play Final Fantasy XIII, but I can't. I'm sorry. That seems unfair, doesn't it? Lightning, a soldier. Zaz, a middle-aged man. I'd like to point out he was a pilot, for starters, and I don't think they should focus on the fucking fact that he's a middle-aged man. It just seems so totally unfair. You can tell, and I know this is infamous by now, but you can tell which character the designers liked more, can't you? Lightning, a soldier, and Zaz, middle-aged old man, you know. Fuck, you know. I suppose you can't really be a middle-aged old man, can you? And, no, apparently you can't actually. That's fine, I suppose. It's just in the separate one. Oh, transform. I do like the voice over. Very well spoken. Maybe it's because I'm not well spoken, but I'm a sucker for a person who's well spoken.
Arrive in the deepest part of the structure, along with Saz, Hope, and Vanille. There, the five discover a bewildered Sarah, only to witness her transformation into crystal.
I don't think she was all that bewildered, was she?
At losing her sister, hurls herself at the Pulse Fal'Cie. She is joined in the battle by a determined Saz.
Oh, he's gone up from middle-aged to determined. Suppose that's something, isn't it? You're being very unfair. Yeah, I am being very, very unfair. Tell you what, this would have been a much shorter way of doing the Let's Play, wouldn't it? Just a few moments of chat over each chapter, that'll do.
This focus are turned into crystal. Those who fail, however, are doomed to become mindless monsters. Their master is an enemy of Cocoon. Are they now fated to destroy their own home? As the others sink into depression, only Snow retains a positive outlook.
Yeah, but he's good old, you know, ignorance is bliss for Snow, isn't it? You know, bit thick as shit. So he's just happy to have some powers. I think he was, wasn't he?
Lightning and her companions, now enemies of the state, are pursued by Sanctum forces. The former soldier makes a decision. Rather than be hunted down, she vows to take the fight to Cocoon's capital and slay the Fal'Cie in charge of the government. The young boy Hope, drawn by Lightning's strength, chooses to follow her. Saz and
She put too much strength in, she'd break the pencil, because he was drawn Drawn by lightning, she drew hope.
By an army unit under the guidance of a mysterious woman known as Fang. These soldiers are members of the cavalry.
It's such a shame Fang couldn't really be in this one. Or I don't think she ever appears. Because it's a spoiler. There's an element of time travel in this one. Arguably, there's not much of a spoiler here because there is a sort of clock motif in the background there, but that could have just been a motif. But there is actual time travel here, so I don't know. I don't recall Fang and Vanille making an appearance, but it's one of those ones where I played Final Fantasy XIII sort of part way and then got irritable and put it away. Then I played it all the way through, I think. And then I played 13-2 and 13-3. And then a little while back, obviously for this, I played Final Fantasy 13 again. So 13 is reasonably sort of stuck in my brain, whereas 13-2 and 13-3, having only played them once, it's one of those ones where it doesn't necessarily sit as firmly in my brain as Final Fantasy 13. So I can't remember if there may have been... It might have been played Final Fantasy 13, got irritated with it, put it away, then played it again independently. Then I had 13-2 and 13-3, so I decided to go 13, 13-2, 13-3. So there might have been an extra playthrough of that one, even compared to what I think is the case. But yeah, this one doesn't stick as much in my brain. And I get the impression that I sort of just kind of trundled through it a little bit without exploring every single option, which is not unreasonable. But we'll see if I can't try and get a little bit deeper into the game today. Or not today, but at some point I'll try and get deeper into the game. It's difficult to know how far we'll get today.
Lightning's response is a blow to the jaw. Elsewhere, Hope finally gets up the courage to confront Snow. The teenager is consumed with his lust for revenge and attacks the Nora leader. Despite the boy's actions, Snow puts himself in danger, protecting Hope from an army airstrike. The four L'Cie later regroup at Hope's house and meet his father. They reconcile their differences and decide to work on finding a future rather than dwelling on the past.
It's a reasonable plan. Yay! Nautilus was quite fun, in fairness. Especially that cutscene where they did the Ragnarok play. It's just gratuitous fanciness, wasn't it, really? Absolutely unnecessary, but glorious to behold. Yes, I remember Knockers McGee. I can't remember her actual name now, but basically she had I suppose three defining traits: enormous cleavage and a whip, and glasses, I suppose. Is that it? In place of a sort of personality, she's got enormous knockers, a whip, and glasses. Yes, that sounds about right, actually.
The cavalry has lent them its aid in rescuing the captured Saz and Vanille. After a long search, Fang is finally reunited with Vanille. The six L'Cie then fight through the ship's defenses and come face to face with the Primarch, representative of the Sanctum. However,
I was going to say, yeah, that was actually, Barthandelus.
The Primarch, who they thought to be human, is actually a powerful
constant, unending antagonist who... Ooh, such a pain in the arse, that final boss. We'll try and purge that from my mind so that I don't hold it against Final Fantasy 13 if I ever play Final Fantasy 13 again in the future. That's what you have to do sometimes with these RPGs. You just have to purge parts of the game so that you don't hold it against it when you come to play it again.
That should they complete their focus and destroy Cocoon, then countless lives will be lost. This sacrifice is necessary to draw a deity known as the Maker back into the world. Rains then reveals himself as a L'Cie of Barthandelus. The soldiers of the cavalry had been mere puppets of the fal'Cie. Now, however, the commander is acting under his own human will. To prevent Cocoon's destruction, he attacks Lightning and her friends.
It's unfortunate for him, isn't it? Goes from being controlled by Bartandalus to being controlled by a bloke called Will. It's jokes again. I know, they're always good, aren't they? Only 3 chapters left. And I realise it's entirely pointless, but yeah, it's quite nice to refresh your mind of what happened in Final Fantasy XIII. Except for the fact that I keep telling you that it's of no significance, but yeah, apart from that, it's fine.
There they uncover an ancient prophecy that tells how Fang and Vanille attacked Cocoon several centuries in the past. It also speaks of how they entered into crystal stasis and later awoke, once again driven to destroy the floating shell. All their actions recorded and prophesied.
Grand Pole's being one of the longest chapters in the entire game.
But if they refuse to fight, then Cocoon will fall. Readying themselves for the conflict to come, the l'Cie head for Cocoon's capital once more.
Ooh, well, you finished the alternate timeline of the original Digimon series. Nice. I am still yet to actually even start the alternative timeline of the original Digimon series. One day I'll remember and actually get around to watching it. But was it enjoyable at least? Oh, as an overall thing, was it enjoyable? And welcome Onibushu, to SaturJay RPG, where we're doing Final Fantasy XIII-2, but we're just reviewing. We're currently reviewing what happened in Final Fantasy XIII. We're currently at Chapter 12, where we went and dealt with Eden. Needed more Kujiwada. Do pray tell, who was Kujiwada? I'm assuming it's a person. Yes, it was a hard-fought victory, although not as hard as the, Orphan. Orphan was just nasty. Absolutely nasty, brutal boss that I did not particularly enjoy. Or at least I didn't enjoy it the first time. Second time, it was a lot easier. But first time, I literally took so long, I think, trying to beat it, the game got bored and doomed my entire party to death. And by that I mean cast Doom. The specific ailment known Doom. Had some random Thai moments. Now is that where they just go off for a quick Thai curry and a Thai latte? No, that's chai latte, isn't it? The joke was that they've gone off to a Thai restaurant. Now that's not how you spell Thai restaurant, the way you've written it, obviously. So it only works as a words outside the thing. But nonetheless, it was jokes. They're numerous, but very shit. But because there's so many of them, by the end, you feel like you've had an actual joke in there somewhere. He was the guy who sang the original theme song. I see. I wouldn't have known that. Mostly because the original theme song for me is probably different. Because the original theme song for me, of course, is Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are the champions. Change into digital champions to save the digital world. And I'm assuming possibly in Japanese, it's not the same song. But I cannot say that with any real significant definitiveness. So I might be wrong. Anyway, here we go. It's time. It's Final Fantasy XIII-2. Oh. The button didn't work. The button didn't work. Okay. Here we go. Final Fantasy XIII-2 is a go. We're going to do normal mode because, I figure normal mode is acceptable enough. And yes, okay, so there's apparently... It's an ominous figure when they do that on a save file, isn't it? Total fragments. You've got 0 of 160. Will I ever get 160? I don't... Okay. Cool. Is that going to be a problem? Well, it just went off. So that's annoying. We'll give it a second chance. I didn't think it was going to just fuck up on me instantly. But we shall see. Then you watch the latest Digi movie. Oh, which one's the latest Digi movie? Because I still need to watch the Digimon Try movie ones. Still need to try and catch them. I've got them on DVD, so I'm a step forward from previous occasions, I think. Let's just hang on. Let's just check those settings. Did they? Yeah, I had a feeling they were going to have defaulted back because, of course. There we go. And of course, I have watched the original movie. Okay, there we go. This time we have created a save file, and we seem to have gotten past whatever caused it to crash the last time. It's fine. Final Fantasy XIII-2 will automatically save your progress. During autosave, an icon will appear in the top left corner, and the HDD access indicator will blink. Blink, 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 blink. That's not... I don't think that's going to be true, is it? Because there isn't... I think that might be a hangover from the consoles, right? Because I don't think my computer has an HDD access indicator. But I might be wrong. Maybe it is in-game and I'm being naive and stupid, I don't know. But you can also manually save your game by pressing start. Do not turn off the power. I don't plan on turning off the power. I never plan on turning off the power. That doesn't necessarily mean the power won't turn off. Digimon Adventure, Digimon Adventure 2, Digimon Try, Digimon Last Evolution, Kitsuna is one continuous timeline. Is it? I see. So is the latest film, I'm assuming, the latest film is Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna? Because I have never even heard of that as a thing or a concept. So... Oh, we're clearly gonna have problems. Problems with Final Fantasy XIII-2. Good. This might... this is feeling like it's going to end in tragedy instantaneously. So, this is good. This is good. This is good. Could I please have access to... No, apparently I can't even access Steam anymore. Good. So glad the technology is working exactly how I need the technology to be working. Come on, Steam. Don't be a dick. Cooly cools. Well, this might end in half an hour's time, it would seem, because for some reason now Steam doesn't want to work. Good. Losing my temper already. Excellent. Why can't you just fucking work? Oh, I bet the computer's going to crash in a minute. Oh, I don't know why you have to be a shit about the whole thing. Do you ever just feel like, you know, one time, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if one time things just, you know, went? Yeah? Things just worked. And there wasn't this whole degree of faffing and shitting about. Oh, such a tedious turd. Okay, well that's not what I wanted. A couple of clips got cut from the movie due to time issues. Well, that's unfortunate. It's on their official YT channel. Oh, I'll have to have a look. Watch Try, then the clip, then the movie, I see. Come on, Steam. Stop being a turd. Well, there we go. We've at least made some progress in it not being a turd. But precisely what's causing the issue with Final Fantasy is difficult to say. I'll verify the cache which is usually a goodish way of potentially finding any issues that are causing problems. But unfortunately, finding and doing the cache is usually relatively time-consuming. I suppose this is what I get for not 100% testing the bastard thing before doing it. I thought, do you know what? I figured, hey, it started up, that's good enough. Turns out, not good enough. Let's have a look through these Steam saley bits. You can tell they put a lot of effort into the movie. It's a great send-off. Nice. Sounds like it'll be a good one. So Wasteland 3, Cult of the Holy Detonation is available now, if you're interested. I'm assuming that's DLC for the game Wasteland 3. Must play Wasteland 3. I own Wasteland 3, I just haven't played it yet. Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. A weekend deal, the Feeding Frenzy, up to 50% off. If you're fancying Subnautica, $41.05. It's quite expensive still, though, isn't it? Quite expensive. The Indie Cup Celebration. Discover Eastern Europe's largest indie games contest. Cool. Breath's Edge. I recognise the protagonist from Breath's Edge. I do fancy the idea of getting Breath's Edge, but I haven't gotten around to it on this occasion. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Just watch it now. Well, I fear I can't watch it right now. There's an Asmodee publisher weekend. You fancy an Asmodee board game? Super Mega Baseball free. It's a free weekend. Death's Door. I know very little of Death's Door. I don't know what that is. I suppose we can investigate a little bit closer. The 11-bit Studios publisher sale. Melty Blood Type Lumina. Looks incredibly anime. And Battlefield 2042. The open beta. So yes, Death's Door. It is on my wish list, so I clearly like the look of it. It's Devolver Digital. That's usually a surefire way of being reasonably decent. And okay, there we go. So all files successfully validated, which possibly suggests it's going to just keep fucking it up, and then we'll have to figure out why it's fucking it up. That's of course a problem. So a very birdy looking game is Death's Door. Don't look terrible though. Okay, hang on. I think I've missed several lines here, and they feel key considering that I've just read Stupid Cow College and the local sports ball team playing in 3.5 hours. A game known as Deep South's oldest rivalry. I see. And Stupid Cow College down the highway. I get ya. Gungeon's hype. Is there Gungeon? Is the old Gungeon on sale? Escape the Gungeon. They also aired the first episode of the new season, Digimon Ghost Game. Ooh. Hopefully. I realise they lose a lot in translation, but it's the only way I can really understand and appreciate it, because I must admit, I don't mind subtitles. I mean, I've been playing Yakuza games recently, so clearly I don't mind subtitles, but okay. Okay, well, this is one of those ones where I don't think it's going to work, which is good. Cool. So, this is good news. Well, this is basically we're probably going to be done. So, I think it was a waste of time bringing SaturJay RPG back, wasn't it? Good. Okay, interesting. I'm just reading, is the unfortunate truth at this point in time. Oh, I think they definitely do lose something in the dubbing rather than the subbing, but yeah. I wonder if that will be it. Do I really have to restart Steam again? Oh, the ever-loving shit-staining cockfuckery. Yep. Good. Now I have to crash Steam out again. This is a tiresome waste of fucking time. So very good. Love it all around. Wasn't even a fancy play. Doesn't have to be a fancy play. As long as it gets across the line or over the goal or in the hole or wherever the footballers enjoy placing their balls, I suppose. Which is quite a suggestive way of putting it. Okay, right, let's see if that will do anything. Each had a wooden horse. Don't sing that song. I don't think that's an appropriate song to sing anymore. I don't necessarily think it was an appropriate song in the first place, but we'll give it one more go at this one. Otherwise, it's going to have to be a substantial amount of research and delving into all sorts of other shit that I don't really want to delve into, but there you go. I don't really need that open. Well, actually, it might help if it crashes. It might save Steam from being a piece of shit as well. Doesn't have to be fancy when Oklahoma's defense sucks. I will pretend I know that Oklahoma's defense sucks. Right, we've done a quick version of what is apparently a reasonable fix. We shall see if it holds. Oh no, that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's indicative that the cloud save was at least partially at fault. Okay. Interesting. So apparently cloud saving is a no-no in Final Fantasy XIII-2. Don't quite know why that would be a thing. Or I'm just going to get ever so slightly further along every single time before it crashes. So give it 5 minutes and it'll crash again. And then I might get 10 minutes out of it. And I might get 15 minutes out of it. The game later will feature the number 2 ranked team and number 18 team. Well, number 18 out of 130 is not too bad, but going against number 2 seems a little bit unfair. But I suppose they probably have to eventually. I don't know precisely how the tournament style thing works, but still. 21 Texas, 6 Oklahoma. Oh. Dropped in ranking, oh dear.
Valhalla. The currents of time do not touch its shores.
Ah, but the currents of that water do. And what would you do if I came along with a whole load of like sultanas and just
Lost moments.
dropped them along the shoreline?
I begin my
Because then there would be currents on the shore.
This eternity, it was never your desire.
That's a recognisable voice.
You,
And there we go, we found out his name now, Caius. He's an angry boy. He's an angry boy. I suppose he just lost his woman, so he's an angry boy. But as mentioned earlier, he has got delightful hair and quite a cool looking sword. If a little bit perhaps over-designed on the sort of evil side. And it's got quite a little bit of Soul Calibur in there, isn't it? With the eye. Mostly just the eye part. You know? Oh, blocked a punt.
lose yourself in battle and rejoice.
Overthrew a wide open guy in the end zone. What was he doing? Bending over and his shorts ripped open. He was wide open there. Hey, I don't think he should have done that.
Husk of the wandering comet, I summon thee.
Whoa, he's so dramatic. I'm reasonably certain he is the voice of, I want to say, War. I think he's the voice of War in Darksiders. And I think he's the voice of many other things as well. Couldn't tell you what his name was. But certainly... I suppose actually I could probably tell you what his name was. Hang on. In a moment. I might be able to tell you what his name is. If I can remember how the bloody name was spelt. I can get the right bloody letter. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Whee! Is that you? Oh yes it is. Okay. Well, in that case, let's have a look. See if I'm right about some of his other things. I'll tell you his name in a moment. His name is Liam Christopher O'Brien. Oh, I also recognise him. Because yeah, he's... Yeah. Oh, I see. He's from Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons. As well. I did not know that. But he's a very recognisable voice. Well, I tend to recognise his voice. Let's see other things that spring out.
Enough.
Oh, he's in Naruto. Gaara, Katetsu Hagane in Naruto.
Cast your shadow over all. Wings of night.
Oh, he's Digimon as well. He's been in Digimon, Deca Greymon, Neptunemon, Mercurymon, and others. Digimon Fusion specifically. Oh, Transformers, Underbite, Kickback, and others. Film, plenty of films. Hulk film, Doctor Strange. He was Doctor Strange in a Hulk film. And video games. Okay. Let's see. Oh, he was Sanctus in Devil May Cry 4. Yeah, actually, that does. Yeah, I think that's. Well, I mean, it's obviously correct. Because there's no reason to doubt it. Just it's one of those ones that makes you go, oh shit. Hang on, shit. I forgot to take the bins. No, I'm just too busy. Oh, he was Ieyasu Tokugawa from Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. Say that 5 times really fast when you had a few drinks. Ieyasu Tokugawa, Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. Could you? There we go. And yes, he was Grimoire Weiss in Nier. Or Nier. Are you near? Are you nigh? Are you anywhere else? But yeah, Final Fantasy XIII-2, Caius Ballard. He's a ball lad. That bloke, he's a fucking ball lad, that one, isn't he? Darksiders 2 is close enough to Darksiders for it to be correct. He was War. He is the voice of War in Darksiders. I'm assuming he was the voice of War in Darksiders 1 as well. Surely. When was Darksiders? Before or after 2009? Are we looking for higher or lower than a 2009? Okay, maybe I'm wrong that he wasn't actually War in Darksiders 1. But I'm fairly certain it was the same voice from Darksiders 1 and 2. Otherwise, he did a fucking good job doing the impression. Season 4 Frontier. Oh, yeah. Didn't, because it didn't have partners aside from Book Guy and Idiotmon. I see, they just evolved into their Digimon directly. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, I mean, in Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes, he is fantastic. He punches things, and it is great fun. Absolutely great fun. Right. This is one of those ones where it's weird. There's a part of me thinking I've got the wrong game, but this was definitely 13-2. But I'm still just busily trying to find out what else he's been in, which, I mean, in fairness, is practically everything, because he is very much in all of the things. Oh, he's even a male pedestrian number 4 in Infamous Second Son. I don't necessarily think that was necessary to know, but that's nonetheless true. But yeah, as specified, he is just a very recognisable voice, and even more prevalent than I thought. The voice he's doing for Caius in this is very recognisable, but I suspect a lot of those others are very much sort of elsewhere. Naemon or some such, but he was just like a bumbling idiot for comic stuff. I see, one of those. Okay, so this is surprisingly like the first game, which I'm fairly certain this is not what the... Anyway, let's carry on and see what happens, because I don't remember this being the gameplay of this game, which is alarming. Time does not stop during battle. The ATB gauge charges continuously over time, and I can do the auto battle thing, yeah. Oh, actually, no, there we go, okay, it's still tutorialising me. Characters perform abilities in battle by expending segments of the ATB gauge. The abilities commands allows you to select specific abilities you wish to perform. You can queue up multiple abilities, and they'll do the do's. Select the doodahs and the daydah-days. Oh, I forgot to change the pissing options, didn't I? How very annoying. Anyway, auto battle is sufficient. When HP is low, use Ul's Shield, a restoration command. I will try. Chaos Bahamut. There is only one foe in this instance. Unleash 2 lightning strikes. Continue. But yeah, this is basically Final Fantasy XIII's gameplay, which is interesting. It's fine. It's just intriguing that we're suddenly doing Final Fantasy XIII gameplay and not Final Fantasy XIII-2 gameplay. It's not just a fancy horse! Oh, it's the warrior god Odin! And he can transform into a more sort of personal form of Odin as well at some point, maybe. Don't know whether he's going to do it in this battle. I assume so. I assume she's going to stop riding him and let him sort of unleash. But we're also facing Chaos Bahamut as well, which is intriguing. Don't know whether Chaos Bahamut's going to turn into a Chaos Jet. He might be doing that right now. Oh, well, why would he? Oh, he was very close to having a little slash there at the back, wasn't he? Very. Oh, Ul's Shield, go on. Umbral Vice, please don't do that. Oh, yes. Oh, definitely a shield, please. Ow, stop hitting me. Gaia the Fierce Knight, yes. Indeed. Oh, I love that card. I love that series. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! There you go. You just got that randomness. I love that. I love that series. Absolutely adore it. Right, let's use Ul's Shield once again because I was running low on health, and then let's try this sniping because why not? Fuck it, have a go. You offered it to me last time. It just got cancelled. Oh no, maybe it didn't. So I'm assuming the snipe is her actually using the gunblade that she possesses. Because I'm reasonably certain she still possesses gunblade. Even though it is super fancy nowadays. In this game it's super fancy anyway. We've almost dealt with Chaos Bahamut. Absolute piece of piss, wasn't it? Doo-doo. But she's got sort of more feathers rather than the red I'm assuming, it seems as if they called this Valhalla, and she's got the feathers. I'm assuming she's meant to be more reminiscent of a Valkyrie rather than perhaps in the first game where the cloak thing she wore. Oh fuck, cinematic action? Okay. Fair dues, I can probably do cinematic action, although it is surprisingly difficult to interpret what you want me to push when I'm not actually using the keyboard, which is unfortunate. But there you go. I might be able to find that option. But yes, because of all the faffing around, I'd forgotten to change it back to keyboard, to controller prompts. Which will make life difficult. Oh, there he is! Man form. Thanks, man form, Odin. Both runners have received the greased up deaf guy treatment. I see. Hello, Caius. Did I actually tell you the bloke's name? I don't know if I did.
Right.
Fairly certain I did. But just in case I didn't. Liam O'Brien. It's one of those ones where just in case, I like to make sure you have the pertinent information. Also, I like to make sure you have the completely useless information that nobody needs. I don't know what that button is. Okay, it's luckily X on the keyboard is also X on the controller. If it hadn't been, it would have been inconvenient. Now I suspect it's going to be... I'm not going to get lucky again that B on the keyboard is B on the controller, but still. Hopefully, as long as we only ever use A and X, we'll be good.
Powers of chaos bend to my will.
It's it goes slightly Dissidia here, doesn't it? The fact that it's Chaos versus Goddess. But I think you do get a bit more explanation as to what the fuck. But at the moment, of course, you left off Final Fantasy XIII where you saved the world and were moving into Pulse, Grand Pulse. Okay, I think that was a choice. I could either attack him or I could use magic. I attacked him because it was the only button I figured out. Yes, it is your turn. Gun? Ah, gun. Okay, we've found... Interestingly enough, backspace, it would seem. Because I think that was considered B space. Is actually the B button, which is quite useful in some ways. Oh, whoa! Again, this is kind of what Square Enix do exceedingly well in Final Fantasy, isn't it? Gratuitous fanciness in a cutscene. Rapid pushings! Successful rapid pushings. You can't beat me on rapid pushings, game.
I must thank you.
If you need tactics, guile, wits and intelligence... Nah, I couldn't give you any of those. However, if you need someone to furiously tap a button, I am your fucking boy. Traditionally, I think I could probably do some of these button prompts a little bit quicker and a little bit better, but unfortunately I'm having to completely reinterpret what the machine is telling me to push every single time, which is proving slightly troublesome. A little bit awkward. A little bit awkward. Oh, piss and shit. Yeah, okay. Clearly, Final Fantasy XIII does not want to be a thing that works, and I'm going to have to do the full... Blarg. Going to have to do the whole fucking about trying to sort of get it to get some kind of extra patch of some kind, which is going to be very, very annoying. Oh, well. I think Final Fantasy XIII-2 is out for now. I suppose I could go back to the alternate plan, which is not necessarily optimal, and I'll have to do some fiddling beforehand. So arguably I could just turn this bit off and then get the other bit ready for next week, but it's been an hour with zero progress. I mean, that's impressive even for me, really. Absolutely zero progress, but still. Let's try the other one, although apparently the other one worked even worse than Final Fantasy XIII-2 was supposed to work. So, yes, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will save that as a bookmark, and then we'll exit out of that so it's got at least a little bit more space available to it. Yes, I don't need two Steams open, please, game or world. Right. I suppose let's try changing this up and seeing if this works any better. Of course, this means I'm now sort of starting two games at the same time. Oh, I see. Okay, that's not worked. Cool. Fine, we'll do it the hard way. I suppose I need to update the title as well. I can't seem to find it, but I suppose in fairness I haven't really looked at it up properly. Let's try it. There we go. It does exist. Pretty certain that's what I wrote on the thing. Yeah, World of Final Fantasy. That's exactly what I wrote. Or is this now... Is this Nightbot having fucked it? Oh, good. No, I can't type. Cool. No, I was going to say Nightbot's been there for quite some time, so I don't know why it didn't seem to want to deal with that, but that's fine, I suppose. It's all fine, isn't it? It's all fine in the end. Depends on how much is being put in your end as to how fine it is. Right, I'll have a drink. And then we'll try and see if this option works. And if it does, then I guess we'll carry on with this option instead of Final Fantasy XIII-2. Which is perhaps unfortunate, but there you go. We shall see what happens. And hopefully, by the time I complete... One would hope, at least, by the time I complete Final Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy. Oh, interesting, I didn't know... Oh, yeah, because it asked for a save very early doors with World of Final Fantasy. What?
Final Fantasy.
See, the way she said it was entirely correct. World of Final Fantasy. Whereas the way I say it frequently ends up just being the World of Final Fantasy. I seem to just make it the word fancy instead of the word fantasy. Anyway, let's have a crack at World of Final Fantasy. This is the cutesy, ever so slightly Pokemon-y, chibi, apparently also quite creepy. No, I'm not doing a TikTok, dear. No, I don't want to go on TikTok. You go on TikTok. If you want to go on TikTok, I'm not going to stop you going on TikTok. I just don't want to go on TikTok, thank you. The brother. Hello, brother. Oh, brother, what am I doing on a beach? So often they end up on a beach first, don't they? Technically, Lightning was mentioning shores on a beach, of course, and he's woken up on a beach. Sora from Kingdom Hearts, pretty certain he woke up on a beach. Hey, I've got a gauntlet like you. Weirdly flexible gauntlet as well, of course, there. Because she really had a decent amount of flex in her wrist there for a sort of chunky gauntlet. I suppose in Final Fantasy you get away with it's magic. It's a magic gauntlet. But she's also the sister, if you hadn't spotted. And the pair of them seem very confused. And that is an incredibly short skirt, and they are really feel like they're emphasising the sheer shortness of that skirt by having the camera incredibly low. Which I know is not, it's not non-typical of Japan, but good lord, sometimes you do think, my word, I didn't need to see all of that. It's quite a beautiful place. I get the impression... Also, they weren't actually on a beach there, were they? They were on top of a tower. I made the assumption of beach, and it turns out it wasn't. It was a concrete tower thing. I'm already awake, dear. Well, I assume I'm awake. I mean, that's a whole other philosophical debate, isn't it? Am I awake? Am I sleeping? Is this a dream? Are you a figment of my imagination? I don't know. I feel like, in fairness, if I was to build a world that was a figment of my imagination, it'd be better than this. But maybe my brain is like a computer running out of hard drive space. It just can't quite make anything better. Hey, buddy, you got a sort of squirrel on your head. Actually, I think it's meant to be fox, maybe fox. Foxy bunny rabbit, perhaps? Do you want to have a foxy bunny rabbit? There's a Moogle on the shelf. It's going to be a very different Christmas thing, isn't it? Putting the Moogle on the shelf.
The boss hates when I'm late.
Well, I mean, I'd say you're not going to be late, but, you know, I turned around and wanted to find out. Okay, so once again, we've got keyboard doodahs. Is there a way... Then again, yeah, I know. Okay, I don't think I've got a menu at the moment. Also, don't have the gauntlet on at the moment, but I do have something on my hand, which is intriguing. Anything secret here? Anything secret there? Now, fun fact: I'm pretty certain he doesn't know there's a fox creature on his head. Now, precisely how you would have a fox creature on your head and not know, I do not comprehend, but I am relatively certain the gag, in inverted commas, the gag is very much that he doesn't know there is a child, a fox creature on his head. QB. Oh, is that what we think that is officially named? Possibly. Can't remember the actual creature's name. It does have a sort of actual given name, but we'll call it the Foxy Monster for now. Or I suppose I could call it the QB, assuming if you are suggesting that QB is its official designation, or that sort of creature, I suppose. I work at a coffee shop.
How'd she get in if no one's here yet?
Probably through a door. How did you get in? It's not like I actually physically unlocked the door or anything, did I? The customer.
Right. She needs some water.
Oh, no thanks. A pint. I mean, a cup of coffee, please.
Yeah, as I say, you probably
Bring the whole jar of sugar. I'm gonna need it.
probably don't need a pint of coffee, in fairness. Apparently, the thing I'm thinking of is a QB. Oh, I see. It's from an I'm assuming that was a typo, from an anime.
Come on. Get together, guys. I'm sorry, miss. This might take a while.
Hey, no hurry. Time's not an issue.
Sort of steampunk coffee machines, it looks like. A very old-looking phone. Very traditional-looking phone.
Here you go.
Arguably, it's all fantasy-based, I suppose, but in terms of the design it's clearly based on, it's a very traditional phone. You really don't need as much sugar as you're going to put in that coffee. And if you do need that much sugar in the coffee, you shouldn't be drinking coffee. If you want something sweet, you know, you should have just ordered a hot chocolate or something. And Jimmy! Didn't even become an accidental word. Hey, you want to see my anime? Come to warehouse. I'll show you my anime. Oh god, don't show me a muffin. I really fancy a muffin now. Oh, you've shown me a chocolate muffin as well. Oh, I fancy both a plain muffin and a chocolate muffin. Luckily, in fairness, I do have a muffin available to me. I don't think that counts.
Hey, I get it already. Very sorry.
It's Rain and Lan!
So, what's up? I'm all ears.
Well, you don't have to get all sarcastic. You really are all ears.
What?
There we go, see. Somehow.
So long. Have you seen anybody?
I don't know, maybe he's not bothered that there's a thing on his head?
I'm looking right at you, aren't I? And there's that customer.
What? Oh, hello.
You didn't even see her? Dude.
Dude, you've got a creature in your head. You don't seem to have seen her. It. Him. I don't know.
Come with me right now.
Easy.
It's interesting seeing, like, this idea of having the fantasy font in amongst, like, quite a nice, reasonable coffee logo.
There's nobody here.
No. There's not a bit of anybody here.
Maybe they just...
I mean no one.
That's good. It means he gets to do less work. We want
Mom,
this. We
have
want
you
this,
bumped
Rain.
into anyone today besides her?
Now that you mention it, I guess not.
And this isn't setting off any alarms?
Not yet. I might have a nice quiet day.
You two really don't remember a thing. Huh? What was that? Who are you? If you're from around town, then I don't know you.
That's not really how you make friends, Rain. Yeah. There you go.
two
I'm with
really
Lan on
don't
this one.
remember a thing. Would you please just answer my question? You can call me Anna Crow. Anna Crow will work. Okay, well, we woke up to a ghost town this morning. Maybe you know why? Yes, you're quite alone. But you always have been. Huh? This world, it's always been the two of you. A world without time. One that ended when it began.
What? That's the weirdest thing I've heard.
But don't worry. Just because the world ended doesn't mean that it's going anywhere. You know, I have been checking up on you two. Until now, you were nothing but blank stares. So imagine my surprise when Lan took my order. What a morning. Okay. Now you're kind of scaring me.
It is weird.
So now that you're awake,
It's another one where you're
I've got
just
a
sort of
story to tell.
dumped in with no real
Which
understanding.
brings us to Tama.
Ah, Tama, there we go. That's the creature.
Who the hog put this thing on my head?
There you go.
Yeah, I did try to mention it before.
You
take
would
it from
you
here.
would definitely have
I'll
felt
go on ahead and link up
a
with
creature on your head. Even though if the creature is supposed to be floating, it was still touching his head. Oh, slot ran a post instead of a slant. Is he now? Would it be disappointing if he had a slanted post?
Wait, I've got tons of questions.
Because I imagine that would offset the fence, and that would be a problem.
That's seriously the first thing on your mind? Now I see why Anna Crow is just about ready to throw in the towel.
We're not allowed to be confused.
Hey, whoa, take it easy there, Lon.
I thought you were upset too.
Let's start the over. I'll make us some of the coffee.
Oh, yes, please.
But I already made some coffee before you got here. How can you just roll with this, Rain?
So over animated. It's quite nice, but
You shouldn't start out your morning with
Just such immense drama to his motions there.
Right, Lon?
Huh?
I'm good with just one.
No.
Okay, I'll have to go and put the coffee on.
Do you know how to put the coffee on?
You know what? Just give me my dang cup of coffee.
It's a little bit too real, that one, isn't it? We'd have to switch to the defense at that point. Nice.
Keepers? Me and Rain?
That's the correct. The marks on your arms are proof. You were born to work the miracles.
Miracles? Our arms can do that?
That Tama creature
How could you the
is just so
command to hold a
ridiculously cutesy.
masters of them?
Like, overly cutesy.
Illusions known as mirages.
The colour scheme, the crown, the weird front chest thing,
With their power, you could have the rule
rainbow eyes, ribbons. Jesus, it's just so over the top cutesy.
So, we could have ruled the world? Because, what, we controlled these mirages?
Well, that's what I've heard.
From who?
What do you mean? In a crow that told me, of course. But enough the reminiscing. I've got to teach you two to use mirages.
Also, of course, the strange speech
How's that?
decisions by putting the
I'm going to present you with
all
my
over the
very
place.
first Miriam.
Nice.
So what does it do?
I don't know. It looks like a bell in a cube.
What's inside becomes yours, and you can make it do the anything and the everything you command. So let's try it right now in glorious combat.
Wait. What? Huh?
Ooh, it's a good battle transition. And gauntlet time, baby. And because of course I know exactly what I'm doing with all of this kit. It's just knew exactly how to break open the cube, knew exactly how to summon a monster.
Okay, go ahead and throw some attacks out there. To take action, you need to spend something called action points, also known as AP. You automatically gain a
Okay,
little bit
so
of
in order to
AP
win in battle, I need to
when
have a
your turn
P.
comes around in battle. The amount of AP you need depends on
This
the
is distinctly more
weapon.
traditional
So
style,
make sure you use them wisely.
sort of JRPG fare, because it's turn-based and sort of ability-based and stuff. Get ready, it's a battle time. Characters take turns based on agility. The faster a character, the sooner they get to act. See that long, thin bar? Each face represents a different character. When a character's icon reaches the top of the bar, they can select the action to perform. You can use up, down, left, right to switch between characters who are ready to act. Okie dokie. The actions you can take in battle are called abilities. Abilities are mapped to the Ligica. Yes, they are. Ligica. Use that ability. A target is chosen for you automatically, so you can speed through combat simply and easily with these shortcuts. Abilities are assigned to keys automatically in the order you learn them, but you can also customize your shortcuts via the game menu. Once I figure out how to get into the game menu, I will very much do that. But yes, at the moment, this could be a problem. A turn bar, I know! It is unique stuff. Okay, there we go. So I think... Is it? I don't know, because I'm having to interpret keyboard onto controller again, as usual. Sudden commands like magic and other abilities cost AP to use. So make sure you've been drinking a lot of coffee, because you'll need it to pee. Characters recover AP when their turn comes around or by successfully exploiting enemy weaknesses. The more powerful the command, the more AP it requires. Most mirages have weaknesses you can exploit for bonus damage and AP. Discovering them, you don't want bonus damage while you have a P. Them will give you a huge advantage, so don't be afraid to try things out. Okie dokie. So, I will do that and see what happens. But what if you have 10 JP? That was one of the fancy ones, wasn't it? Oh, I think I'm defending. Okay. So that makes me think that's going to be the one. Yeah, okay. Luckily, I think it is sort of mostly. It matches up with the way the buttons are laid out. I'm guessing probably because it was originally a console game and not a computer game. Well, it's always been a computer game, I suppose, but it was a console game first and then ported to the PC, which I get the impression is not something Japan seems quite all that good at, which is It is, of course, quite a weird notion, because they start life, of course, on a computer. Then they get sort of built to the console, but then they struggle to get it back onto the computer, which seems peculiar. You would have thought it would be surprisingly easy to get them back onto the computer they started on, but still. That's why I'm not a game developer, because I don't have the understanding. Why does the brown one not have a tail crown? Because the tail crown is only for good guys, and that brown one is clearly the bad guy. There are 3 battle modes: active, semi-active, and wait. In active mode, time keeps flowing regardless of whether or not you input commands. Battles even move quickly and without interruption. In wait mode, time stops until you input a command for the character whose turn is up. This gives you a chance to carefully consider each action. You can change battle mode via the config menu. And again, if I can figure out how to get into the config menu, we will be quids in. But that's fine. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to get in there. Try sticking with wait mode until you have grown more accustomed to combat. Here's another useful tip. During battle, press U to open a more complete list of commands. To some of you, this classic menu style may look familiar. Yes, it will. There are some commands, for example, items, that can only be selected from this full menu. If you've chosen active mode, time continues to flow while the menu is open, so be careful. One last thing. You can pick and choose your targets when using the full menu. This comes in handy when you want more control over the fight. I always want more control over the fight. I am a control freak beyond comparison, so I must have all of the control. That is why I take, in something like Persona and a couple of others, whenever they sort of introduce a new character and they go, this new character's set to auto mode. It's like, no, they're not. They're being controlled by me, because that is the only option. A sackfish! I don't know what a sackfish is.
We did it.
I could have continued all day. I was enjoying that. It's a good little battle system. I don't think it was. I don't exactly think it was negatively received, but I don't think this one was technically considered supremely well received. But I liked it. It's a little too cutesy. It will induce a certain amount of vomit based on the cutesiness of it. But it was a nice little game. Fun little idea.
Of course that would have happened when you and this world were split.
Kind of hope they do another one, perhaps. Be interesting to see. But then again, it stands alone, I suppose. And yes, it is a Magikarp. I did sort of know it was a Magikarp. Or at least I was able to assess that it was a Magikarp, because you can recognise the sort of the little Fu Manchu neck, the sort of lip beard. Sack is... Oh yeah, I certainly recognised it as a football term. Football term, rather. Or turn of phrase, I suppose. Tackle the QB. Oh, little QB. The Queen's beard. Quarterback, I know. Just in case you were wondering, I did realise quarterback. Before he can hand it off or throw a pass somewhere, even if it's just out of bounds to avoid said sacking. I didn't know the details, but I have heard of a sack before. It's where I keep my balls. Why do you do this? I don't know. I can't help myself.
But even if you don't remember Grimoire still knows a lot about you.
I think Grimoire sounds a bit creepy.
Traces and records of your past.
Okay. So, like,
You're saying whether we remember anything about ourselves or not, we can still find clues about our past and the things we've done?
Correct. And if you keep on gathering mirages, I think you might even meet your family in due time.
Our family?
Nice.
huh? Well, I guess it does make sense that we'd have parents.
No, not necessarily. You're magical creatures in a magical world. You might not have had parents.
Journey to Grimoire?
If I said no, does that end the game? It was the third down sacking. Sorry, I don't know where I was put. Oh no, there is a big in there. I did wonder. I was looking at the sentence and I saw the word big. Then for a moment I stopped seeing the word big and wondered where I'd got the word big from. But it turns out I got the word big from the sentence you'd written, including the word big. It was the It was a big third down sacking. I'm sorry, but every single one of these terms sounds filthy. Oh, she's gone down and she's had a big third down sacking. Oh, yes. Right in the mouth. Teabagging galore. Anyway, let's save the game. Because hopefully this one might actually not fuck it. Genuinely thought it fucked it when it went to a black screen, but it's okay, it was just loading. Land of the Lillykins. Hello, little Lillikin. This is looking pretty good for Oklahoma's first loss. What do you think they do after said big sack? Probably wash yourself down, really, but... We're chippy now. This is the other thing that's quite entertaining about this game.
I know, we look ridiculous.
We? Yes, you're included, remember.
I'm sure that's how everybody in this world must look. Crow just wanted to make sure you had
48-yard bomb.
Wow, she can do stuff.
Now, see, I think that's going to be against the rules. You're not allowed to set a bomb at the 48-yard.
Anybody gawking at our arms.
Just the manager of the team with his finger over the trigger. Right, when the enemy comes past. Oh, he's on the 46, 47, 48, bang! There we go, that'll keep us in there. So yes, here we go. This is pretty much how the game mostly plays. Lillikin and Giants. I don't know why they couldn't have just spelt Giants correctly. It's just such a sort of... It looks so much like... Well, we can't just use the word giants, can we? We can't say they're Lillykins and then just use the standard word giants, can we? No, we're going to have to... Just, I don't know, what? How can you say giants without saying giants? I don't know, stick a J on it? It's like, no... You could have just... Even if it was something ridiculous like Biggykin or something, it would have perhaps been better than just changing the first letter of the word giants. But still, in Grimoire, the smaller people are called Lillikin. That's our little chibi form. And the taller people are called giants. That's our regular sort of proportion form. The twins can switch freely between these forms. To change rain, U and L, that's going to be a problem. To switch Lan, U and J, that's equally going to be a problem. I need to figure out where U is. Although you're free to strut around as either side, you will start combat in your current form, so it's never a bad idea to have stacks set up for both situations. And there is a certain little hint towards the other key thing in this game, the stack system. The actual bomb, or an actual bomb, sorry, might hurt less than getting blown out in the Red River shootout. Possibly. Possibly. But... Oh, here we go. You've preempted the fact that I would not understand what the Red River was. The Red River forms part of the boundary between Texas and Oklahoma. I see. I must admit, I did not know that. In fact, hang on. The tips you see in these panels, yes, you might even notice Enna Crow has slipped a few extra tidbits in there that don't appear during the course of the game, so remember to check the tip jar every now and then.
I guess we should head straight down this path.
Yes, we probably should. But ideally, here we go. Configuration. Now. Yeah, boy! That's what we want. No, I don't think I want to change the keyboard layout because that could fuck it right up, couldn't it? Okay, here we go. Right. Also, yeah, I have a feeling they seemed quite low, so I don't...
I could get used to this.
One step closer to total world domination. Huh?
Yes.
That's not what we're doing here.
I don't know whose voice that's supposed to be, but still. Oh, there we go. That's the sound effect there, and then...
Help us!
You can do it!
Then a couple more notches, and... Oh.
Try hard. I could get used to this.
Help! Okay. Help!
I got you. Try.
Help!
Try harder.
I don't know why, but that's just... This has just amused me. No end. Disable encounters. No, I don't want to disable encounters. Thank you. Wait. Okay. Now remind me. What was semi-active? Because you never really told me what semi-active was. But still, basic. I suppose basic's fine. I guess. Yeah. Minimap on. Yeah, it's fine. Message speed. We'll drop it up a little bit. That'll do nicely. Choose the menu layout you start battles with. Usually, I mean, basic will suffice. And yeah, wait. Yeah, wait should be fine as well. Be a nice turn-based one. So we've also got items available to us. We've got the Yurugu Prism. Allows you to imprison a specific set of mirages. So again, I suspect the game will explain this as well, but since I've played it before, I might as well explain it to you as well. In this game, you fight mirages, which are basically the monsters, the famous monsters of Final Fantasy. So at some point, I'm fairly certain there's the ability to get a Malboro, which in fairness, I am just about to smite the Malboro on the bottom of the screen there. Thank you for watching. I don't think you get a Malboro for quite some time, but the sort of flans, etc., they're all in this, and you imprison them, which I've got to admit, chef's kiss on the fusion of words there. You get to put them in a prison, and therefore it's imprisoning them. Difficult for me to say, but clever beyond belief. And yeah, you use them in battle, essentially. Key items, Colosseum tickets, not sure what they are. I'm sure that might be something where I've got this maximum mode or what have you. No, I don't think we need any tips at the tip jar now. Okay, so that's how we change you. Oh, hang on. No, that's definitely not it. No, stop pushing that button, please. Okay. Okay, we found a jump button. We've got a jump button. Hello. I can jump. I'm just not entirely sure. Okay, so that's probably the button. Just need to figure out how to perhaps get them to... that may take some time to work out how to get them to transform back into their fuller form. Because I'm not finding a button. That's the pause button. That's the map button. Okay, that's quite reasonable. Okay, so that does have a mini-map automatically. Nice. So yeah, unless... No. Hey! We found it! Hello, I'm Big Boy. Hello, I'm a little boy. I'm a big boy, little boy, big boy, little boy, big boy, little boy, big boy, little boy, big girl, little boy. Oh no, I'm still boy. Oh, I see. How the fuck do we do... Hey! So I can actually do them independently. So, big boy, little girl, big boy, little girl. I'm going to break the game, aren't I? Yeah, probably. I think in Venice we are supposed to be chibi mode at the moment, so I'll run around as Rain. Why not? That is... Yes, no, I'm correct. That is Rain.
Oh,
right as Rain.
I spy another mirage.
Yes, the Chocobo chick. It is.
What are you waiting for? Go on and imprison the it.
Okay.
The added thus in those sentences, they're never going to get old and irritating, are they? Oh, I think thee are fucking thee will summon the cube or use the cube in some fashion. Yeah. Go, cube demon thing. The quicker we can get rid of Tama, the better. I know it's terribly unfair, but...
It looks sort of like a prismarium. What is it?
That's called a prism. Use it to make the Choco Chick's prism.
Oh, she's got a little dagger, hasn't she?
Find a new the mirage you haven't seen before. It'll be recorded in Enna Crow's special mirage manual.
Ooh.
Whoa. Does it even have pictures?
I reckon it does. I reckon it's like a Pokedex.
Whenever you add a new mirage to the manual, you receive one of its prisms. But only the first time, to mind you. Okay, first, try the weakening the Choco Chip. Then they use your prism.
Okay. Imprisoning mirages. In order to imprison a mirage, you'll need an empty prism compatible with that mirage. But there's some good news. XIII-2 will provide you with your first compatible prism whenever you encounter a new mirage. Huh? Why doesn't XIII-2 just fork over the whole lot of them right now? Come on. Where's the fun in that? Besides, she doesn't do bulk orders. Don't worry. You'll be able to befriend almost every mirage you meet, eventually. But be sure to take the time to get to know the friends you have before looking for new ones. How dare you? I only want new friends. Then they don't know me, and they won't want to leave. Once a prism holds a mirage, it is known as a prismarium. A mirage's prismarium allows you to use the mirage in battle. If you look closely at a prismarium, you can see a miniature world inside. They're like snow globes. But be nice, and don't try to shake them. So to recap, you start with an empty prism. Imprisming a mirage in the prism turns it into a prismarium. The prismarium lets you add the mirage to your stacks and use it in battle. Even if you fail to imprison a mirage, you won't lose the prism, so there's no need to hold back. Good luck. Nice. That's ever so slightly more convenient than Pokemon. Give their soul to a Morpher. Is that a Mighty Morpher Power Ranger? I'm assuming not. Just imprison them in a cube. The best way to make new friends. Exactly. You know. I knew it wasn't just me who had to imprison people in the basement. I knew it was everybody. It's the only way to make new friends. You imprison them in the basement, in their little cube, and you torture them into liking you. It's the only way. It's the only way. If you press start during a battle, a window will open containing info on the mirages you're facing. And with the Libra ability, you can see even more detailed information. Damn it, Texas. Damn it, you damn dirty Texas. I don't know why Texas is dirty in this situation, but apparently it is. I suppose in fairness, it's mostly desert, isn't it? It is a bit dirty. Whoops. No fast forwarding for you. I must try and remember to avoid that button if I don't want to accidentally fast forward the game. But that's fine. Each mirage is strong or weak against certain elements or status ailments. Learn to identify the following symbols when looking at mirage data. An obvious flame for fire. Nice. An obvious sort of cyan flake for ice. Obvious lightning bolt for thunder. Nice gust of wind for wind. Also, it sticks to pretty much the same colour scheme as any other RPG, really. Water, big drop of water. Earth, boulder? It'd be a boulder? I don't know, but it's still obviously earth because of the colour. Light, I must admit, is slightly less obvious because it's quite dark for being light. It's kind of just a shade of grey. 4th and 1, they hit the runner in the backfield. Oh, Matron did there. But let him not only slip out to convert. Oh, Matron. But go all the way to the referee. Oh, Matron indeed. There was just defence left after he broke the one tackle. Light does almost look a bit snowflakey, yeah. And darkness is sort of a dark purple void, which is fair enough. Blindness is like an eye. Death is a skull. Slow, clock, berserk, angry face. Oblivion is a question mark. Okay, that's going to be confusing because confusion is often a question mark, but I'll have to try and remember that confusion is swirly squiggles. Poison nullifies elemental attacks and absorbs elemental attacks. Okay, we should be able to remember those. Stun, protect, haste, shell, reflect, regen, haste, bravery, faith, KO. Strength up, strength down. I put my strength up, I put my down. Blind is... Oh yeah, you're right. It is reminiscent of a Pokeball. Very reminiscent of a Pokeball. In addition to status ailments, characters undergo positive and negative changes. Your body is always changing, and sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative. There we go. The Choco Chick. 148 out of 148. It's a small-sized creature. I have imprisoned 0 of them. It is weak to ice and darkness. Requires a Choco Chick prism. Okay. Can I actually, just quickly, since you offered... Yes, I can. Rain. Size, be medium. No obvious weaknesses. Little stack L. The size is, well, little stack, I suppose, in fairness. I chose you, Cataracts. I don't think anybody would choose Cataracts. Right, what we got here? So, yes, I figured out that we had Y and then classic. Here we go. Okay, that's lovely jubbly, that, isn't it? Right. So, I want to try and attack you. Nice. Good evening, Mr. Boosh. Welcome to the world of Final Fantasy. Which, in fairness, I don't necessarily think you were heading in here going, oh my god, I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy XIII-2. But it's not Final Fantasy XIII-2. This is World of Final Fantasy. A different Final Fantasy. Because Final Fantasy XIII-2 refused to work. And that kind of sucks, but there you go. We've decided to move on, and I'm doing World of Final Fantasy. Why are you murder-killing little cute egg friends? I'm not murder-killing them. I'm just simply putting them in prison. You can't just walk up to Mirages and imprison them. Obviously, I mean, who would? To collect a Mirage, you need to knock it into the prism-tunity state first. Mirages won't let their guard down forever, so don't miss a prism-tunity when it arrives. Sometimes all you need to create a prism-tunity is a big heavy club, but the brute force approach doesn't always work. Try putting the club down and thinking outside the box. Prism-tunity requirements vary from Mirage to Mirage, but Libra can often provide you with a good hint. Do I actually have... Oh, I mean, in fairness, they gave it away there, didn't they? Yeah, use physical attacks to do a prism-tunity. But yes, we're going to beat it down a little bit, but eventually it's not just going to be beatings. We are going to smash it around a bit. Hey, that's a prism-tunity. It's shining, shining all over the place. And now, go! Imprisonings! Your chicky ass is mine. Yeah. I just got the accomplishment Mirage Keeper.
The Choco Chick is inside the Prismarium. It's yours to the keep.
All right.
All right, I fully concur, and all right with you as well. And how are you? How are you this evening, Mr. Blueboosh? Are you doing well? So we've got a couple of little stacks. So here we go. You have befriended a new Mirage, a little chocobo that loves to waddle around. These feathery friends love to headbutt things. This is fine, because a chocobo's eggshell never cracks twice. So we can do lots and lots of things. But yeah, as you can see, it's also got transfigurations, which is basically evolutions from Pokemon. It is very Pokemon-y. Do I want to name my Mirage? I suppose I probably ought to. I don't usually, because Choco Chick is probably sufficient. But there you go. All good, thank you. Imprison. Technically, it's imprisoming. Prism, as in crystal prisms. It's imprisoning. But yeah, essentially, we are just sort of stealing them. You'd like to be a little baby Chocobo Chick? Go on then. Can I do it via... No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. The one time I would like to actually utilise the keyboard is the one time the game goes, no, you are not allowed to access your keyboard. But there we go. And I guess, yeah, other people, if we catch another one and you fancy it, Oni, you can be you can be in the game as well as one of my little monster friends. But yes, are you happy now, Mr. Blueboosh? You can
Pretty neat, huh? Next, why don't you have a go at stacking that Choco Chick on your head?
Yes, because that sounds like a sensible plan. I don't think, you stupid creature. Get off my head. We've had words.
So when I saw you perched on Lon's head back in Ninewood Hills, that's what you call stacking.
Yep, that's the right. While I'm up to here, I get to take it nice and easy.
Get off my head.
Stacking or slacking?
Slacking, definitely slacking. Please don't put me on your head.
Everyone in the staff gets the added
I'm afraid because you're a tiny choco chick, you have to go on someone's head.
It's like combining into a super robot.
Soz.
Yet, your magic and other abilities have the potential to change too. It all depends on how your stack is configured.
Huh? Oh, I don't need any action figures when I get to blast out super attacks like a super robot.
Well, just be careful. Stacking doesn't then make you invincible. Some of the enemy attacks have the power to unstack you.
In other words, bye-bye super robot, so to speak.
Yowzers. It does sound like bad news.
It's true that we are
Such red
individually
cheeks.
weaker when we're unstacked. But look on
I know that
bright
is the
side.
chibi style, but
Since
it's
we
still
each get our own
slightly
return
concerning how
battle,
red his cheeks are.
we can use the
It does look like he's just been
extra power
slapped
attack
around the
and
face
remember
several
to
billion
heal.
times.
It can be very helpful. Depending on the situation, you might even decide to unstack yourselves by choice. Think carefully and choose the best setup for the job.
I will try. He was just about to mention slapping. Should I stack? Should I stack or should I not now? Ba-doom-doom-doom-doom-doom-doom. Should I stack or should I no now? Do-do-do-do-do-do. When you stack with mirages, the stats, such as HP, of all the stack's members are combined. Your abilities may also transform. Stacking with the right buddy can give you access to new and powerful skills and magic. You're always more powerful in a stack than you are fighting apart, but there is one downside. Downside. There's a downside. Weaknesses are also shared among the whole stack, which can get you in trouble. Use the stack setup screen in the game menu to choose which mirages fight alongside you, or is it on top of you. You should set up stacks for both your forms, Lilican and Giant. That way you're ready for battle no matter what size you're using to explore. A stack can be up to 3 members high. There is one simple rule. Smaller goes on top of bigger. Try it out and you'll get the hang of it in no time. Okay. That's basically the primary thing of this game. It is stacking. Lan and Rain and their mirages are assigned sizes. Small, medium and large. Small members go on top of big members. In your stacks, L goes on the bottom, M goes in the middle, and S goes on top. Easy, right? When Rain and Lan are L-sized giants, mirages will always stack above them. But when the twins are their M-sized Lilicans, things get a little more crazy. Suddenly they can ride on top of large-sized mirages and put small-sized mirages on top of their head at the same time. Oh, I make a little stack of me in the middle. I'm a little stack of me in the middle. I know. Bing bong. Bing bong.
You can make different stacks. You want
Bing
to
bong.
put big things
Bong
on
bing.
top of the small things when
Bing
creating
bong.
a stack.
Bing bong. Bing
So,
bong.
to get on
Bing bong.
top of a mirage,
Bong
you
bong.
need to be
Bing
in
bong.
Lilican form.
Bong bong. Bing
The
bing
best
bing
way
bong.
to learn is
Bing
to try
bong.
it once you've
Bing
rounded
bong.
up a few more
Bing
mirages.
bong. Bing
You'll
bong.
pick it
Bing
up in no
Ding
time.
ding 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 ding. Anyway, that's our superpower. We get to change size. So, in our sort of giant forms, I suppose it would be useful for you. Oh, okay, no. Oh, I suppose he is considered a small monster. Oh, so is Tama, actually. I didn't know that. Mr. Blue Boosh, you're going to sit upon Rain's head. There you go. Enjoy. And then Tama is already sat upon, what's it said? And now what we also want to do is, in miniature form, you can have a tiny choco chick on your head as well, dear. Enjoy. Enjoy being perched upon her head. I'm going to shit on top of her head. In fairness, that does seem likely, despite the obvious fact that you wouldn't want it. But okay, so Libra. Okay, we could set up some shortcuts. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. Here's this stack. Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. So we've got our 2 stacks now. And now we can change form if we want to, but I don't know. We'll see. Flea Flicker for 48 yards. The RRS never fails to be wild. Again, those are majestic words with zero understanding.
But there's nowhere else to go.
The right royal sausage never fails to be wild.
Look, the Plus,
I made it out of
this
wild
may
boar,
appear
that's
to be
why.
a wall, but it's actually a gimme golem.
Is this
Ah.
a Mirage too?
Not
Gimme.
in the traditional sense of the word, but you'll see these pests all
I
over
want something
Grimwald.
from
And unless
you.
they give them what they want, they'll give you a hard time and block the way.
Well, aren't they just
So, what is it
assholes?
they want?
It really depends on the gimme golem. So the first thing you'll have to do is examine it.
I can probably do that because I suspect it's probably just one button push. Yeah, told you.
Gimme!
Gimme, gimme! You see a luster leaf reflected in its eye.
Find out.
I don't know, probably somewhere around here because.
Imprisoned ought to be able to track down what we need.
Nice.
But first things the first, you're going to have to unlock the right ability on the Choco Chicks.
The type of trick play you rarely see. I see. 48 is basically half the field. Okay, that's fair. And the right roll sausage? I'm assuming doesn't stand for right roll sausage, but I mean maybe. Maybe I've just gotten a really lucky guess and it happens to stand for the right roll sausage. Each Mirage has its own Mirage board. A special chart that's packed with new powers and potential. Abilities, stat boosts, each space on the board holds a new surprise. You can unlock the spaces using SP. Your Mirages earn when they level up. Some spaces on the Mirage boards cannot be unlocked until you meet special conditions, but with a little work they're all within reach. Ah yes, the configuration of course. And Stroll! Mirages that have learned the Stroll ability will appear alongside Rain and Lan in the field, so you can explore Grimoire together. If you are accompanied by multiple Mirages with the Stroll ability, you can cycle through them with the left and right buttons. Sometimes strolling Mirages will discover useful items. Try bringing different Mirages to different places. You might be surprised by what they find. Yes, unlock Stroll on the Mirage board. That's the wrong button. Mirage boards. Mr. Blue Boosh. What skill can you unlock upon your Mirage board? Literally just Stroll, because that was the point. Ram? No, I think we're saving up for Cure. Cure is definitely going to be the more useful thing. And then we can obtain another Choco Chick Prism. And then unlock another Mirage board. That might be its evolution. Oh no, that's Transfiguration. Okay, cool. But you can, I think, once you unlock their other forms, because I think that's going to be a slightly more adult Chocobo. I don't know whether it's going to be official Chocobo or not. That might be official Chocobo. But I can't say that with absolute certainty. I cannot remember. Anyway, you, Tama, what can you learn? Can you learn anything of interest? You've already got Fox Fire. There you go. That confirms it's supposed to be a fox, doesn't it? Accuracy, strength. Can't get that at the moment. Cure over there as well. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll increase your HP and then await enough for that. Can you evolve eventually? You certainly can't at the moment. You're stuck as a little tiny Choco Chick at the moment.
Hey, the Choco Chicks come along for a stroll.
Oh, look at the Choco Chick. Oh, it just makes you go, oh. No, we're back again. It's fine. I got overexcited and turned into a giant thing. Oh, whoop. Oh. I do like the fact that you just have full control over having them do that. I think you can even do it at exactly the same time if you can push the buttons. No, okay, maybe not then. Oh no, there you go, I got it. I'm just not pushing the buttons at exactly the same time because it's slightly awkward. Because for those interested, you knew the keyboard shortcuts, of course, but on the controller it is LB, and for Lan it's X, and for Rain it's B, so they can just drop into their chibi forms. Enlarge body. Oh, hello, Blue Bush. You found something? Oh, he's happy, isn't he?
Huh?
He's happy.
Something.
He's happy. He's found something in the bush. And in fairness, if it was our world, the only thing you'd find in a bush would be a porn magazine. Although, having said that, that's quite an ancient notion, isn't it? Really, I don't think you get the dirty mags in bushes anymore, do you? Because it's all online. If you did find a dirty mag in a bush, it'd be an old laptop, wouldn't it? an old laptop, just covered. Yeah, well, not covered. Well, might be covered, but you don't want to know what it's covered in. But just filled to the brim. The hard drive filled to the brim with porn. Lurking in a bush somewhere. It did well. That's because we made it happy.
I guess the Choco Chick found us just the item we needed.
Indeed. And I'm sure it will find us more.
Yep. With the help of a mirage or the two, there's nothing that you can't accomplish.
I don't know. There's several things I can't accomplish, I assure you. If I put my mind to it, I can not accomplish many things.
So be sure to keep on the leveling up and working on your mirage boards. Pretty soon you'll be bouncing and the trouncing across Brimmore like a pair of the pros.
See, this is where I would like to see them do another one of these games, because it's quite a good little system. It's got just enough Pokemon in it to sort of have fun collecting monsters, whilst also having a nice kind of using them usefully and stuff. Can the Choco Chick help you accomplish IRL issues? I mean, if you believe hard enough, then I think it can. If you believe in the Choco Chick, and the Choco Chick believes in you, then,
so, Tama,
you know.
I noticed mirages disappear when we defeat them. Why is that?
Nobody
Most of the
knows.
mirages you see in Grimoire don't actually technically belong in this world. And so, when one of you guys gives them the old KO, they can't maintain their presence here anymore. They fizzle that out and go back to their own world.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted, but carry on.
Now, that's weird. Who was it that told me all this before? It's like right there on the tip of my tongue.
Stop licking the Choco Chick. Do 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 do. Or rather, stop licking Tama, I suppose, technically, because obviously it's Tama who's telling you all this.
This is called a Mercrift.
Oh.
Inside, you're the likely to find mirages that are, shall we say...
Mirages? Oh man, let's go catch them.
I think these are hard mirages. I think you've stepped into a situation we might not be able to win, so... Yeah, see, that's a Behemoth. And we don't really have the capacity to defeat a Behemoth at the moment, I don't think. Mercrifts, scaredy but true. Mercrifts are home to strange, rare, and usually very dangerous mirages. If you want to explore one, make sure that you're fully prepared before diving in. Most Mercrifts will be too tough for you to handle when you first find them. If you do end up getting whomped, come back later, after you've gotten a bit stronger. Learn how to flee battles, I suspect.
You're likely to find mirages that are the strong and dangerous.
Maybe just tickle his beard.
Try a little harder, please.
Whoa, he came right at me. He tried to slice my gonads off, and I didn't like it. Okay, so, theoretically, yeah, to create a Prismatunity, we don't know how to yet. I don't know if I can actually beat it or not. One thing I would like to do, though, is abilities. Okay, which stack is this, then? Oh, this is the Choco Chick stack. That's why I don't have much to do, so we'll just use a quick attack from there, and then you, however. So what was the shortcuts for this? I don't know, but I'm probably going to stick to menus, to be honest. I'm very much... Oh, unimprisonable. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Pretty certain it can be imprisoned at some point, but I suppose arguably this is... Ow. This is an example situation. That example being, this is what happens if you fuck it up. Because I don't think... Yeah, I'll defend myself, but I'm not sure... I don't know, was there a runaway in the main menu type thing? Escape, yes there was. Oh, there is no escape, okay. Cool. It is just death. It is intentional death. I'd be interested to know. It's always one of those ones where sometimes you think of these ones and you go, I bet someone's had a go beating that fight, haven't they? But the fact that you were insta-killed by about 400 times the amount of... No, 4 times your health amount.
I'm still alive.
Yes, that's because someone intervened right at the moment of your demise and made it so the battle never happened.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow, you can really do that? Of course.
God, that's a helpful power, isn't it?
That's the right. I have the power to rewind time a little, and then the whisper.
God, that'd be really useful, wouldn't it? You're about to make an absolute arse of yourself, and you just turn back time.
If I rest for a little the while afterwards.
A life?
You might not believe it,
Okay,
but
that
I've
might,
actually got multiple lives. Back there, I had to sacrifice one of those lives to turn back.
That's
Ring
quite a
to save
cost,
you.
but then again, you are too cute,
See, this
so
girl with the ribbon
I'm
showed
happy
up in
killing
my
you.
dreams. She's the one who taught me how to do it.
That makes zero sense and kind of freaks me out, but Tama, I'm impressed.
Thanks! Oh, but just so you know, I can only use my powers to protect the two of you specifically.
That's quite
Only
limited.
If you lose a fight, like what happened to you in the Murkrift. Oh, yeah! And I can always recover my lives if you stay here and let me the rest a spell. So,
Oh, that's easy.
don't forget to give me a breather before I run out of second the chances.
Dude, you got it. Say no more. Rest yourself silly.
Yes, sir!
Thanks, Tama. We really owe you one. Especially Lon, who didn't have the good sense to listen before diving in.
When the party has fallen, they just pick themselves back up again, really. When the entire party is defeated, Tama will whisk everyone back to the safety of Ninewood Hills. There is no penalty, but you will have to fight your way back to where you were. Be careful, though. If you're inside the threshold of a powerful mirage, Tama won't be able to save you. It's game over.
Hey, who's that?
I don't know. Who is it?
Oh, if you mean our new guest, she claims to have gotten herself
Oh,
lost.
I wonder if she's one of the Final Fantasy
Go say
characters.
hello.
Because they do appear
She's
in this.
quite
The
the
famous
character.
Final Fantasy characters do
Okay.
have some play in this
The
game.
real question is how she got here from the outside world when it's no easy trick. She must have experience crossing between planes.
I mean, it's a hell of a thing if you can do it. I think in this world it's better to be our giant forms, because it's more normal in this world to be giant than Lillikin. Interesting, the speech impediment she has there. Indeed, it is. It's one of those ones where it seems slightly cutesy at first, but very swiftly it ends up in throttle territory.
Promenade.
If you don't stop saying the word "the" in inappropriate locations, I'm going to throttle you. Or, sorry, just to make sure you understand, I'm going to the throttle the you. The prick. But it is, yeah. I think, again, it's meant to be this sort of notion of, oh, it's all so cute. Oh, it's all terribly cute and lovely. So, interesting there. That's a full-blown chocobo, I think, rather than a choco chick. On the shelf, this is, just in case you were wondering what I'm talking about. Chocobo, Cactua, and then that is the character from Final Fantasy VII, whose name I can't remember. So moving on. Also, that jacket is devilishly reminiscent to Squall's jacket. Deliberate or otherwise, I'm not sure. One assumes deliberate, or I'm just reading too much into it. But the fur-rimmed collar and the black very much feels like it's meant to be Squall's jacket. Then there is the coolest Moogle on the block there as well, with his shades on. Deal with it, brah. And then, oh, I've got a games controller. Give a video game. Mirage Manual. Nice. So at the moment, oh, there we go. The evil Tama is Yorugu. Yorugu. And then the only other thing we've got is the Choco Chick. Who's who? We've got Lan. Let's see. Just fascinating notes there. Markings on his left arm. Dude. Rain's younger twin brother. Mentally incontinent, but morally regular. Who's supposed to be writing these notes? Considers proper word usage to be optional. I can get behind that to a certain extent. Change appearances. Oh, I see, yeah. Of course, the Chibi versus Doodah. It's fine. First world of origin. World of Final Fantasy. Markings on her right arm. Lan's older twin sister likes to call the shots and keep Lan in line. Always on the ball. Almost makes up for Lan with her quick judgment and careful planning. Again, World of Final Fantasy. And this is from World of Final Fantasy Apocrypha. Immeasurable age due to her alternate. And apparently it's officially a her. Didn't know that. Didn't know it had a gender, to be honest. Alternate interpretation of time. Navigator. Talks the funny. Floats. Rides on people's heads. A little girl at heart. Knows how to run with a joke. Pure and innocent. So that's our 3 main characters. It seems we don't have anything on Enna Crow at the moment. Which I'm surprised there's not at least a little start. Oh, hello. Okay. And suddenly, Sephiroth. Oh, I get the poo-poo of no. That's because I think Sephiroth... I didn't know Balthier, certainly, but I think Sephiroth is a special Maxima version summon or something. But there you go. Chibi Sephiroth. Chibi Sephiroth is here to stay. Not entirely sure if that is Final Fantasy VII or I've gotten confused with one of the others. But also our glorious air pirate friend Balthier. He was fun. I liked him as a character. Final Fantasy XII is him. We don't get to learn about Sky Pirates. Not at the moment, no. Minigames? We don't have any minigames either. We'll have to wait for minigames to turn up. Come, little Choco Chick. Come, Blue Bush. We must away to the coffee shop.
Mirages has learned the stroll ability. It will follow you around in the field, just as the
I know.
you included in your lineup.
I know.
Speaking of the which, I have that ability too. So if you always want your adorable Tama at your side, keep me in your lineup, okay?
No, you're alright, mate. You're alright. I think I prefer the Choco Chick. Plus, I like the idea of it getting very confusing.
She's so tiny.
Oh, it's not a known Final Fantasy character, I don't think. I might be wrong.
Lilican?
Yeah, oh, I'll tell you what. Let's go down to her size. Make sure we don't intimidate her. Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, fuck it, yeah. She is a recognisable character.
How are you?
She has been in something other than this one, I think.
Good.
Maybe.
You know, what a nice, quiet place.
Oh, Christ, I can't remember.
So who are the you?
Oh, you can call me Choco Latte.
That's ridiculous. I refuse.
Seem to have
Stop it.
washed up here like a soggy yellow feather in a storm.
But the Chocobocolina,
Do have this funny knack for
I remember that somewhere on the line.
Cool.
All right. Care to shop? I've got the goods. Chocoboco ching.
I've got a feeling... I think... So she's essentially a shop. Yeah, she's just a shop. But I've got a feeling... deep inside... oh, I can't afford more than 1 potion. I might just leave it then. A wobble stopper! Completely stabilises a wobbling stack. I bet it does. Loco Weird, Flash Bomb, War Gong, Lethian Charm. Nice little variant of the Chocobo theme in the background as well there.
It's called a shop, dear. You're in luck. I find all kinds of stuff as I bounce from point A to point Q.
I think she might have been in Final Fantasy XIII too, which is slightly insulting because, of course, her turning up now is a nuisance. I suppose the Who's Who, I'd need to go back to the bar, which I suppose arguably I could do. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing now. Probably back to the alternate world, but we'll just check out the coffee shop. Because why not? And I don't think we should be LeChoki chickens.
Are you ready to head back to Grimoire?
There we go. That is the goal. We head back to Grimoire. That's not a problem. Oh, here we go. I do want to head back to the homestead though, just in case, because...
Show that yourself, Seraphie! I didn't know it was you!
Oh, who's Seraphie? I don't recognise the name immediately. Oh, there we go.
You know, when you awakened, you should have woke me up too. I don't remember raising you to be such a selfish self-poo.
Well, I don't remember you raising me at all!
Who's this?
Oh, hi. I'm just your adorable local wind pixie, aka Seraphie. My hobbies include gossip mongering.
Is LeChoki Chicken a reference then? Because I don't get that reference now. Or at least not immediately.
Yep.
Hoarding?
Hoarding. Why do you think I'm here? You must have tons of prismariums. More than you can handle, right?
I mean, the only thing I've got is the euphemistic value of LeChoki Chicken.
Uh-huh.
But I don't get it as an immediate reference, certainly.
You're gonna need a place to unload.
Yeah, they are kind of bulky.
So do feel free to
Well, who's got you covered? This
put forth what the reference is, and then it might spring to mind.
Prism case that lets me keep all your prismariums safe. Just plonk the ones you don't need in, and yoink the ones you do need out. All plonking and yoinking must be performed.
She's the Pokemon PC.
From an alternate location with a suitably strong connection. Additional terms, conditions, and restrictions may apply.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
not sure I caught every single word, but I guess I agree.
Oh yeah.
You've just sold your soul.
Prismarium belongs to one of my tribe. Treat it with the same boundless love and affection you feel for me.
I don't know what I feel towards you at the moment, dear.
He's kind of a special the case.
Storing mirages in the Prism case. Chuck E. Cheese was a fast food chain in Rocco's Modern Life. I mean, theoretically, I shouldn't recognise it, because I don't think I ever watched Rocco's Modern Life, but I feel like maybe it's permeated, perhaps, and I do now feel like I do slightly recognise it. But I might be wrong. I might just be convincing myself I recognise it. Falsifying a memory just to satisfy my brain. But there you go. So, we have a prism case. It allows me to store all the prismariums. You can select which mirages you take it with your adventures. Transfig your mirages as well. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Seraphy keeps the prism case in Ninewood Hills. You can access it by talking to her directly, but the case is also at your disposal in Grimoire. Just select it from the menu at the gates or save crystal. I obtained a Seraphone. The Seraphone is a special device you can use to call Seraphy and access your prism case remotely. Seraphy's not too keen on leaving Ninewood Hills, but thanks to Seraphone, you can still swap in mirages while out on the go. Just keep in mind that each Seraphone can only be used once, because Seraphy doesn't like getting off her because your data security is important, of course. Either way, I mean, the word is the same when said out loud, which is basically what I was thinking of when saying it out loud. Oh, here we go. Transfigurations. Interesting. Oh, right. No, that's right. Yeah. As in the evolutions. That's fine. I was being slow and stupid, which is entirely standard practice, really. A tiny wind pixie that makes its home in forests and other places of natural beauty. The sylphs are good friends of Seraphy, in fact. Or rather, sorry, the sylphs are good friends of Seraphy. In fact, she sometimes meets up with them to play cards and gossip, so be sure to treat them with the same boundless affection Seraphy expects you to feel for her. I will. Oh, is there a name for a small fairy? Specifically a wind fairy, at least at the moment. Don't necessarily know it's going to keep being a wind fairy. But I can't deny, Sylph is actually quite a nice name. It's a good describing name, but I'm happy if people have some kind of clever name they would enjoy seeing on Sylph. I can't guarantee any of these. There are a lot of these things, so I don't know which ones I'm going to end up using and which ones I'm not going to use. So I can't guarantee you'll see this creature for a prolonged period of time, but still. Just enjoy a little bit of the music, and I can look at its stats, and I can look at its elemental resistances, its element resistances, and its stats. Oh, that's growth ratings, I see. So it's going to primarily go up in magic defense and agility, not so much in magic or strength. Wendy! Wendy! Fair enough. Oh, she will be known as Wendy. Wendy the Windy Sylph. I don't think I've got enough letters for the full Wendy the Windy Sylph, but nonetheless, she is now Wendy. How many more letters do I have? 5. Oh. Confirmation. Looks good, yeah, go on. Wendy! Hello, I'm a little sylph called Wendy. And I'm gonna do Wendy things, Wendy things, Wendy things. Oh yeah, Wendy things, Wendy things. Gonna do Wendy things for you tonight. big break. So, unfortunately, if we're going to use Tama, which, in fairness, as much as I don't necessarily want to use Tama, Tama is actually quite a good creature. But yeah, we've got the option if we want to use the Sylph. But for now, I think we'll use the Choco Chick. Because the Choco Chick is fun enough to use. Who's Who in the Who's Who manual? Seraphi. Immeasurable. Undetectably excited. Refuses to enthuse. Supposedly everyone's favourite pixie. Flies. Watering can? How did that get there? Keeps cards close to her chest. And she, once again, is from Apocrypha, World of Final Fantasy. But here we go. Chocolate. Final Fantasy XIII-2. Yes, the ultimate kick in the fucking dick. The first Final Fantasy character we find is from the game that refused to work earlier. Cool. Age in Grimoire immeasurable. Wears glasses just for show. Washes from world to world. Chocolate Mart proprietor. Choco Chick. Chocobocolina. Chocoboca-ching. But yes, she does turn up in Final Fantasy XIII-2. I do recognise her after all. I didn't realise... oh, there's the Choco Chick. But this is the actual Choco Chick on top of Chocobocolina's head, I believe. Although... oh, I suppose, yeah, it's supposed to be the one Zaz was carrying. Hence why its origin is Final Fantasy XIII. A slightly undersized, but otherwise ordinary Choco Chick. What is she? Dim 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 dim. Dim 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 dim. Dim 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 dim. And that's the boys again. The boys we're not allowed to look at. You're not allowed to look at the boys. Can we just save it from the menu? Oh yeah, we can, just not here. Right, that's fine. It's because I think here is not... I don't know. Here in the house. No, apparently I can't save it there either. Oh, that's fine. I think I can save it if I pop out to Grimoire. Or rather, at the door to Grimoire, in fairness. It's not specifically to Grimoire. Cue the Twilight Zone.
Anyway, I think you should be able
I did quite enjoy the latest series of the Twilight Zone. I've enjoyed plenty of series of the Twilight Zone, but the latest ones were quite nice.
Handle things now.
Oh, okay, either will.
It's cool. I'll lock this place down tighter than a Marlboro's bottle of mouthwash. That's a Seraphi guarantee.
Hold it down.
But where are you going now?
I feel like I recognise that voice as well.
Somewhere else, of course.
I suppose they do the rounds, so it's not unreasonable to recognise it. It's just one of those odd little things where it's like, oh, it just starts bugging you, and it's like, oh, I really want to know what that is.
Barely done anything. Besides, every world has its own rules, like water dousing fire and light banishing darkness.
I think that's just called science.
Well, I designed mine to be so completely unbreakable that even I can't undo them.
Undo what?
The rules.
You're bad at explaining.
You're saying you can't help because that violates the rules of the world or something?
Exactly.
But why is that? I mean, come on. Just who do you think you are?
Me? Oh, well... I'm God.
Oh, hi. What a lovely conversation we've had with God.
She's gone.
Dude.
I guess we can't necessarily rule it out, but for somebody calling the cosmic shots, she seems kind of sub-benevolent.
Well, that's Anna Crow for you, so get used to it.
So, she really is God?
Beats me. Anna Crow is Anna Crow, wouldn't you say?
Pretty the much.
Thanks for clearing it up.
So we had a lovely conversation with God. Are you the impatient type? Here's a fun little trick. During cutscenes, you can hold RB to quickly speed through the conversation. Oh, not good enough for you? Then you can always press start and Y to skip the scene altogether. Spoiler, probably not going to do that. Of course, if you start skipping scenes with abandon, it won't be long before you have zero idea what's going on in the story. But then again, if this is your second trip through Grimoire, you may want to get right down to business. You've always got the adventure log to fall back on. Don't fall back on the adventure log, because it will splat and go everywhere, and you'll have a shitty back. Yes, save over, please. Thank you. Lovely. I'm 1% through my Mirage manual and 5% of the way through my Who's Who. Who's Who here? Save crystals form naturally in dangerous places throughout Grimoire. In addition to restoring your HP and AP, they allow you to save progress and access the prism case. Save crystals are places of peace and safety. When you see one, remember to save your progress, because you never know what dangers lie around the next corner. I must admit, it's quite a nice save crystal, this one, the way it sort of whoosh, and you get that sort of shower of sparks effect and the kind of ground hologrammy type thing. It's a really nice way of doing a save point. I likes it. It's got my official seal of approval. Arf, 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 arf. That is the seal of approval. Yes, indeedy. I went for that joke, and it was awesome. Press RB to toggle which character you control. I figured that out by myself. It doesn't have to be Lan for the long haul, or Drain always taking the reins. Sometimes you just need a change of pace. The character in the lead has no effect on combat, so feel free to use this feature, just for fun.
Well, that certainly costs
No!
And whose fault is that?
Yeah, I want names.
Maybe at some point I'll have to try and get the old Darth Vader no up there, just for bad jokes, perhaps. Oh, that was a violent one there. Speeding up battles. Tired of the grind? Not really. We've only just started, game. Don't get me wrong. Eventually I'll get tired of the grind, but at the moment, you know, come on. We've only just started. Then here are a few tips you're sure to like. Hold RB during battle to fast forward and make time fly like a speeding tummer. You can also enable auto battle mode with a single press of the back key. I don't like auto battle mode. And I know technically the entirety of Final Fantasy XIII was auto battle mode, but it was entirely built around that, which made it okay. But this sort of one, I don't like doing auto battle mode. I prefer doing it myself. Continues fighting without any input. A few words of warning though. Words of warning. When playing in active mode, time flies. Time continues. Words. Mouth. Having trouble. Which means enemies will keep attacking while you fast forward. Also, in auto battle mode, party members merely repeat the last commands you gave them. They don't make choices for you. So keep an eye on the action. You have a rewind sound effect you can have, I see. I'd need to set up a full shortcut keyboard thing or whatever you've done. Have you? I'm assuming you've not gone for the full Stream Deck experience, but you certainly had to hand plentiful sound effects. So I'm assuming you've set up something fanciful to accomplish that. When using the basic menu, enemies are targeted automatically for you. However, you can always override this and use left and right to manually select a target. Oh, you just have a window. Oh, I see. I must admit, reasonably smooth operation of said window, because I assumed you were just hitting keys. I didn't realise you were actually moving mouse and striking at a window. Unless you're just using keys that are on that window, but nonetheless, that's, you know, not the point. Right, we probably want to try and Libra this bad boy, but Libra is on the other group, so we'll just attack you, assuming you... Oh, that's the Imprison opportunity! Imprison the little creature! The little fluffy squirrel. Not entirely sure what this creature is. I mean, it is just a fluffy squirrel, isn't it, really? Imprisoning successful. Yep. Awesome. I likes it a lot. Oh. Get excited. Oh, it's so close. You were 1 point away from successfully levelling up, Mr. Bluebush. But unfortunately, you're going to have to stay at level 1 for a little bit longer. So this is... I don't know. I still don't know what it is. Am I being stupid, or is the name of the creature not actually here? I think the name of the creature is not actually here. Although I think it might be something to do with Mew. A cute little forest animal. Or at least that's what it wants you to think. Then, pow! A tail punch to the jaw. This mirage has nothing to do with the legendary continent. May or may not speak. Mew. When upset. Looks like a sleepy paintbrush. And there you go. It is just called a Mew. Are there any names that would be desired? Or shall we just leave it at Mew? I will give you a moment or two's deliberation time. You hinted at a name. Is it Sleepy Paintbrush? Because I could probably not fit Sleepy Paintbrush in, I'm afraid. But technically speaking... Oh, I see. Are you suggesting Can't Sleep Must Paint? I don't think that would fit either. But we shall slay. We shall see. Let's have a look. As I say, I don't think the whole one will fit. So that would be LEEPMU. Yeah. So it will have to be... I'll tell you what. That's SLEEPYPAINT. No, okay. I think it will just have to be the cut down version. And I insist on... No, I don't think I can insist on. No! Is that... Yeah, I thought that was. No! Oh, hang on. There's more letters available. Okay, that's... No. No! Come on, game! Do the right thing! Do the right thing, game! I don't think it's doing the right thing. Blast. Blast it all. Not a apostrophe. I see no apostrophes. No, I didn't think that was an apostrophe. But why have you got two of those and no apostrophe? What are you thinking, game? Whoops, I went the wrong way. It's fine. I'm kind of hoping I'm being blind, but how... I suppose arguably for a nickname you wouldn't usually put an apostrophe, but... Arrgh, that's going to irk me. Something drastic. Can I at least put a space in? There we go. Unless I want to call it something slightly different. Nah. No, we'll just go Can't Sleep. Can't Sleep must punch people in face with towel. That's a very different variant. But in fairness, also adds is CSMP, isn't it? Can't Sleep must punch people. The experience. The experience you earn in battle is split between all participating party members. Mirages that are accompanying you but didn't fight in the battle still receive a flat 8% of the total experience earned. However, mirages in your prism case get nothing. You, sir, get nothing. So make sure to bring mirages along with you if you're trying to make them stronger. And stronger and stronger. So what was our friendly little Mew? What size were you, Mew? You certainly wasn't medium. No, okay, I can't change that one. Were you another small? Yeah, you're another small. So I would have to... tell you what. In our giant form... Nah, I kind of want Tama to stick around. So I'm afraid Mew will have to stay on the sidelines for now. I can't sleepy Mew. Oh! Mr. Bush. He's found stuff in the bush again. There's a potion in the bush and I picked it up. And then at some point I'm going to drink it down. Because that's a sensible thing to do. Picking up random potions from bushes and slurping them down. Because they're definitely not going to be poisoned. We are doing this. And what we're also doing is maybe using some magic. Yeah, magic powers, go! If you find a bottle of stuff in a bush, for God's sake, don't drink it. That's not the way games work, I'm afraid. The way games work is the moment you find anything on the floor, you eat and or drink it. Wall chicken being the most famous example from Castlevania. Hey, I found a chicken in a wall. Cool. Wolf that one down.
So bad.
That's definitely not going to lead to salmonella of any variation. Hey! The Bushman levels up. He's now a level 2 Choco Chick. Do. There's little Seraphie enjoying her gardening. Don't really need to go down there for that treasure chest. Although having said that, I suppose arguably Blue Bush might find something secret. So, whoa! really does have quite the punch to it, doesn't it?
Come on, bring it.
It's a Mew. I don't think we need to taunt the Mew. Come on, bring it. Unnecessary taunting of the poor little creature that we're going to just absolutely wreck.
Good job.
It does seem oddly unfair, but I'm fine with it. Oh, can she? Nah, she couldn't quite get the balance point. But let's carry on to the new location and avoid the death cube this time. Hey,
Lon, don't touch it.
I'm not going to touch it this time.
I know. But could we see all this stuff before?
Now that you've fought that thing the once, you can see all its information. And if you happen to know some Libra magic, you can peep at its data before you even jump in.
That's super useful.
Very good thing to keep in the mind.
That is why Tama pretty much has to stick around, I think, because at the moment she's the only one that's got Libra. Eventually, I'm sure others will have Libra, but right this very second, the only creature I have with Libra is Tama, which is why it has to stick around quite so rigidly. Can't go off. Oi! Some battle systems or some battle transitions aren't quite as sort of shock-inducing as that one, but that one really does get a certain amount of like boom right in your face. But it is one of the nicer ones, the way the cube, turns into cubes. And it makes a degree of sense because this is all cubes. Lots of the iconography in this game is cubes. Obviously, we catch things in cubes. Oh, I almost feel bad punching a Chocobo chick to death, but not bad enough to stop. So there you go. It's a fun fact for you. It does make me feel bad, but the experience makes me feel good, and the experience trumps feeling bad over punching a small Choco chick in the face. Oh, hello. This is. We've played, what, about an hour's worth of the game, and this is the jaunty welcome to the game cutscene. Oh. Hiroki Chiba. You all need neat legs. I'm fairly certain that's not what the lyrics were, but that's what I heard. Tetsuya Nomura! It's the second time we've seen his name crop up today. Yoshitaka Amano. Yasuhisa Izumisawa. Whoa! We're on a magical trip. Yusuke Iwasa. The chains of our burdens are here. Yuji Himuke. It's gone super anime, and I can't deny I quite like it. Tomohiro Kayano. Heya! You'll never save yourself from my cubes and my chibi form. We're gonna have a fun journey with our monster friends. That's Magitech armor there, if you were wondering, I think. Or is it? Actually, no, it might be the Juggernaut Beastie from Final Fantasy 13, possibly, but I don't know. I think it looked more Magitech armor, but I could be mistaken. Oh, big man gonna shoot lots of beams at me. It doesn't look good, it looks like I might lose. But with the power of love and the power of friendship and all the Final Fantasy character chibis, Chibi Squall, Look at him go! Chibi Titus! He is super blitzball, Chibi Lightning, and Chibi Warrior of Light. He doesn't get a name, he is just known as the Warrior of Light. He's basically from the first ever Final Fantasy, I believe. He's meant to be the protagonist of the first ever Final Fantasy, and I think the protagonist in the first ever Final Fantasy never had a name, therefore he doesn't have a name, he is just known as the Warrior of Light. I cannot say that with absolute certainty, but I'm fairly confident in my answer. I also have a statue of the Warrior of Light from the game Dissidia Final Fantasy. There you go, plenty of information there. No fingers on chibis. No, you're not allowed to put your fingers on chibis. There are rules and laws, and if you start fingering chibis, they will arrest you and put you in the prisons. You will be imprisoned. But no, it's a super simple art style that has no time for fingers. There is no time for fingers, no time for anything. I think possibly, who played Swords of Revealing Light? Yugi, I think, was the only one who ever played that card.
At the end of the bridge?
In the series, at least.
I don't know why, but something about it takes me back.
Possibly, you know, I do wonder. I don't know if Jaden ever used it, specifically Jaden Yugi. Which I suppose arguably should have always been Yuki Jaden, if the Jaden was even in existence, but he's the only one who bucked the trend of the Y value, because every other protagonist in Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you were unaware, has a Y start to their name.
You think we're supposed to get on?
But of course, they in the British dub, of course, they used to call him just used to call him Jaden. Rather than being a Y. But his surname / possibly first name was Yuki.
Sure.
And obviously Japanese names often do it the other way round to what I would consider normal. Oh, that was a black mage and a white mage running down the corridor happily. There you go, yeah, there he is. Black mage, white mage. Hello. The black mage hat is so magnificent.
I don't know how long it's been since we've had.
Oh, and this is a cactua, hence why he said pluck my needles, which does sound a lot dirtier than you would think. Also, he's surprisingly needle-free for a cactua, isn't he? Because he looks more like he's made of felt.
A mirage?
What? It talks?
Oh, I needly am a mirage. But I'm also the train conductor, so tickets, please.
I don't remember purchasing a ticket, so that could be a problem.
Alright. If Tama can talk, then why not?
But the train tickets that we need
are right here.
Oh, good. Well done.
Wow.
Thinking ahead.
Semi-lifetime passes, eh? Haven't feasted my eyes on one of these in a swell spell. Right then. Pleasant journey.
Where did those tickets come from?
In a crewmate, sure. I was provided with everything we could ever need. Yep.
Okay then.
So why a semi-lifetime pass? And not a lifetime one?
That's a damn good question. I had that question as well, Lon. I get the impression we're not going to be told. No, I don't think we're getting told. Incredibly disappointing. And what's the definition of semi-life? How many years does semi-life pass can cover? One assumes enough to cover the entirety of the game, but you know. He's got a fish on his head. One of them had a cat on their head. Cornelia! Don't know why I said that with quite such excitement. I didn't have a follow-up. Apple on her head.
Wow.
Can we do a...
Rules.
What's it?
It's like something
William
right out
Tell.
of a fantasy.
It's because it is something out of the Final Fantasy.
Hey, Tama, why don't you hitch a ride?
Roger the Dodger.
Pardon. If I may ask, would you be kind enough to tell me what country you hail from?
Oh, us? We're
Never mind.
Mirage is from the Bahamutian army!
Whoa! I think they're goblins, but I might be wrong.
Bahamut? What's a Bahamut?
I'm assuming it's a dragon cow.
Well,
It's a cow dragon.
The Federation has a whole army of mirages in their employ.
Huh? Someone's made a whole army out of them?
Sounds just fine by me. Line them up nice and neat for us, so we can round them up.
Hey, wait up! Lon!
Time to beat down some potential goblins. Probable goblins.
All right, you Bahamus. What's your beef, huh?
You have to make it sound like they're made of beef.
Well, if they're Baha moves, they probably are. Oh, here we go. I know. It's exactly the jokes I make, so it's entirely my style of humour, but still. A goblin guard! I told you it was a goblin, didn't I say it was a goblin? I said it was a goblin. I said it was a goblin. You said it was a goblin. We all knew it was a goblin. Anyway, let's... I don't think I can actually imprison it, but since it is the guys with Libra, we will at least Libra the goblin guard. I think that chain, basically... Oh no, well, that's weird, because I've Libra'd it, but I still don't actually have the Prismatunity detailed, which is intriguing. But I don't think I've got a Goblin Prism anyway, so at the moment we'll just keep attacking the front guy. Goblin Punch! Ouch. Don't crit me. I don't want to be critted. Please don't crit me, baby. It's not very fun to be critted here. So, yeah, probably stick to the target it auto-targeted previously. And then... I don't know if it's going to make much difference, but we will Libra the standard goblin. Yeah, again, no information on precisely how you imprison them. But, as I say, I'm not 100% convinced you can imprison these, simply because they had those chains above them. But I cannot say that with... Oh, she defended, yeah. That's where having defend at the bottom and attack at the top of the controller is weird. I'm not sure I like or appreciate the layout they chose, but we shall have to go with the flow. Because if you're interested, I will just review. I mean, mostly the information is on the screen. You can sort of see it there. But nonetheless, what are these ones? Oh, I see. That's the stack. That's information on your medium, right? And that's where you get your abilities. Oh, you're a bit of a dipshit, yeah. A little bit, not a bit of a dipshit. It's fine. I've been wondering how I would access those internal symbols, the SM, the L, and that sort of that's the stack abilities, I suppose. And weirdly, I've been staring at that L in the middle of that icon, and not once, well, until it did, obviously, just now, but not once previously did I think, I know, that probably means the left analog stick, doesn't it? Very obvious and very simple design choice. So it's a very good UI, just my brain did not click on that one. But never mind. But yeah, you've also got Y is attack, B is imprison, X is stack, and A is defend. Now, personally, I would put forth that A would be a better attack button for doing that. But, you know, that's not for me to say. That I am merely the player of the game, not the designer. So, I don't know if that diminishes my opinion value or not. But still, I would put forth that A was more logical. Whee! I didn't know I was going to... No, it's teaching me that the chains, yeah. Because I was going to say, I didn't actually try to imprison it.
Whoa! What the... What just happened? Why wasn't I able to imprison that mirage?
Because it's someone else's, I think you'll find.
The light that's surrounding it? That means it's the beholden to another keeper.
Same principle as not being able to throw your balls at enemy Pokemon.
What I mean is, the mirage already has another the master. So until you give their boss the old heave the ho, you won't be able to claim it for yourself.
Some mirages already belong to another master. If you look carefully, you can see the chains holding their souls captive. It suddenly makes what we do slightly more sinister, doesn't it? Because if the enemies are binding souls via the use of chains, that feels like that's probably what we're doing to these poor mirages. So I've essentially lashed a chain round the soul of that delightful Choco Chick. So, that's fun. Defeating a Mirage's master will break its chains, allowing you to imprison them. The problem, of course, is finding the master.
Whoever wrote that little hook in.
Ron, Ixnay on the fourth wall stuff.
Giants.
Oh, whoops.
Are they Bahamutian soldiers?
But they drove the mirages off for us.
It's just like the prophecy, word for word.
But which one?
Well, we know how it ends. Please, may I speak with you?
I mean, it seems like you are, so...
Sure.
The two of you. You've traveled here from another world.
Oh, well, I wouldn't... I mean...
Actually, I think you're pretty much spot on. And we're Mirage Keepers, too.
Ron, don't tell her.
Why not? Face it, we're too awesome to try and hide it. I'm like exuding all over.
Dirty little boy, not all over the streets.
There is someone who would like to have a word with you. Could you possibly stop by Castle Cornelia?
Well, as you don't always get invited to a castle,
Casa Cornelia's place.
I reckon that'll be fun.
Doesn't Casa mean up? It's gotta be higher up.
I mean, you're probably right, but wrong at exactly the same time.
Even if the rest of that was completely off the base.
You are 100% moron, child.
She's inviting us to the castle.
Ooh, shiny item. The old journalist notes. Delightful. Hello, Mr. Conductor. I could board the train, but I don't necessarily see the point in boarding the train at the moment. Let's have a look around here. Oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. We'll go down to that save point, assuming I'm allowed to go down to that save point. And then, yeah, we'll probably put it away now. I can't tell if I'm a kingpin or a pauper. This guy's definitely a pauper, because kingpins do not have fish on their heads.
Those Federation goons probably wouldn't attack us anymore. Come to think of it, our neighbors in Saronia also stand against the Federation. And again, if we join forces with another country, we'd just become even more obvious targets. Makes it tough for the princess to reach out. I wonder if there aren't any powerful countries or organizations out there that we could ask for help.
Well, you could ask me, and we're powerful giants. But we can also be chibi. You've got a basket on your head. Possibly a bread basket. I believe the save point was down here, but I suppose I should just check the map. No, you're right, but that's not where I want to go, is it? So
right. We should stop by.
yes, we should, but when I say we should, and not when you say we should. So how's about you let me go down the stairs? You son of a bitch! I know it's at the top of the town. There you go. Fast forward you little shite. Varg. Why do sometimes games shit on your plans to put them away? That's right. They do not like to be cooperative with your doings. And if you don't like it...
What's up, guys? Nice armor.
Leave them alone, please.
I mean, technically, he just gave them a compliment. And yes, bread is delicious. Especially, you cannot do better than homemade bread. Absolutely cannot. It's magnificent. Especially if you get a really good one. Like, don't combine these, I don't think. Although, having said that, chili and chocolate is supposed to be a good combo, but not necessarily in this fashion. But if you make like a nice plain white bread and then smother it in a bit of Nutella, delicious. Or throw in a bit of chili flakes and get a really nice chili bread. That's delicious as well. I used to make a lot of bread, but I don't anymore. Sounds like there's more of a story than I'm just too lazy to bother now. But Yeah,
Still,
I used to
the
make
fact
quite a
of the
lot of bread.
matter is, we didn't do anything all that outstanding.
Yeah, we're more the in-standing types.
Huh? I'm pretty sure that in-standing isn't in actual the word.
Oh, forgive me. It's just so hard to believe that you two are the stuff of prophecies.
Prophecies? Oh, that's right. I think I heard the townsfolk going on about some kind of prophecy too.
We've eaten lightly toasted bread with nothing but hot sauce on it before. Interesting choice.
I will explain it from the beginning.
I don't think you'd. Don't necessarily fancy that idea. I'd certainly put hot sauce in the loaf itself. That would be quite good.
Let me explain that as
You have to be careful how much you put in, because obviously it is sometimes difficult with the balance of sort of dry to liquid inside of a bread. If you fuck that up, you've fucked up the bread. But having said that, even when you do fuck that up, it tends to turn out alright. Bread is surprisingly resilient to fuck-uppery.
But we have held our ground, and now Bahamut has taken to armed provocation.
You mean like that Mirage attack before?
Yes.
So where does this prophecy factor in?
The Azure prophecy speaks of a divergence. When time begins its march anew, they shall return as visitors. Giants from the hills of a world not our own. Upon Grimoire, they will wreak two divergent futures. One that brings salvation, and the other ruin, an enigma to confound even the highest mind.
Well, let's hope we do the salvation one.
Wreak two futures?
Reek, huh?
God damn it. He's such a moron.
Oh, man, Tama, this prophecy's about you!
What are you even talking about? There's nothing wrong with the way I smell! You big the dummy!
Well, at least I'm dumber than you!
Hold on. Such a moron.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm afraid there's just no hope for them. So, the giants from the hills, as in Ninewood Hills?
It's so lucky Rain is here, because otherwise nothing would get done.
Yeah, so far, it does seem to match up. Do you mind if I ask you a slightly awkward question? If this Federation is really so terrible, why have so many countries agreed to become members?
Most of the Mirages in Grimoire, not all, but certainly most of them, are now firmly under the Federation's control. With such a powerful army behind them, citizens can go about their lives without fearing the Mirages that still roam free.
Dude, they control that many Mirages? Seriously?
Yes! Dude.
Whoa.
King Brandalus's herald lieutenants, known as Sigwarides,
Suddenly became extraordinarily Bill and Ted there. Whoa.
As the famous Queen of the Keepers of ages past.
So there was a Queen of the Keepers? Sounds like she was pretty powerful.
Yes, but that was more than a century ago.
So, sorry for the string of dumb questions, but if the Federation can guarantee that kind of absolute protection, wouldn't it be worthwhile to take them up on their offer?
It may seem wise, but you see, membership in the Federation involves following their laws, and adoption of a heinous creed. It chills me, right to the marrow of my bones.
That bad?
Yes. I beg you, see for yourselves. Once you have done so, well, you will understand.
All right then.
Now then, may I ask what the two of you intend to do next?
Well, whatever's going on out there, the only thing we can do right now is just keep rounding up more Mirages, am I right?
Oh?
Apparently, at one time we commanded a whole legion of them. But somehow, we lost them along with our memories. So, we're hoping by getting the Mirages back, we might stumble on some clues about our past.
That's right. So if Mirages like those goblins are bugging you, we can lay down the smack.
Lay down the what?
The smack, the Charlie, the Coke. Come on, keep up, Queenie. You know what I'm talking about. You've had every drug under the sun, I bet, yeah.
Mine and all Cornelia's.
Still, if we're going to be any help, don't you think we need to beef up our arsenal first?
We need to get our hands on those dragon cows.
Fight without some strong Mirages.
Good point. Princess, do you know of any nearby places where strong Mirages live?
Certainly. If you travel to the northeast of Cornelia, you'll find the Nether Nebula, a network of caverns inhabited by many wild mirages.
Ooh, nice.
Not at all. Savage mirages have been sighted in the nebula. You may well end up dead.
That's cool.
If you insist upon going, then please take the utmost caution.
He will, Your Highness. Otherwise, he's gonna be extremely sorry.
Wait a minute, why just me? What did I do?
I don't know. I think you've been charged with general moroncy. I think I've just been charged with that as well. Shit.
It looks like we'll need to wind our way down to reach.
Oh, no melons!
Oh, no melons.
Funny way to build a town.
Oh, hello. Hey. This was Blue Bush's decision, but this is now you. That's you. I'm pointing at the screen. It's unfortunate, but I don't have a cursor in this situation. But not the girl. Not the girl. The girl's not you. The creature on top of the girl is you. The fluffy little Mew. He's a Mew, and he's named Can't Sleep. As I say, I'm throwing Blue Bush entirely under the bus. It was his choice. Exclusively his choice. I couldn't stop him. He came round and threatened me with violence. As you know he is wont to do. Looks just like you. A sleepy little, I don't know, squirrel, I suppose is the closest thing. A sleepy squirrel with a furry fist. If I looked nothing like I look. Nice. And welcome. Unfortunately, you pretty much joined right at the very end. I don't know, I think with your furry fist you might have to fuck others, but that's not the point. I fear you have pretty much joined right at the very end, because I am planning on putting it away in a moment, although am I going to get roped into something here?
Oh, say, you wouldn't happen to be the giants from the hills by any chance?
Well, technically at the moment I'm a Lilikin from the hills, but that's not 100% the point.
Really use your assistance, since you must know mirages so well.
How are you, though? We've got a few moments now. I've started engaging in conversation. How are you, Can't Sleep Must Painting? You doing well this evening? Deliver 1 Earth Hammer. Yes, I can probably try and do that. Mini Venture accepted. Best helm in the realm. Okay. Oh, do I have his? Do I have it? Oh no, just reminding you that he exists. That's fine. That's good. Oh. No, cutscene. I want to go to the safe point.
What's this thing?
Darn it. Playing Disney Princess Cupcake board games. Just by yourself, or I'm assuming that was a family event? Because I don't know. Amuses me. You just sat there as a pretty princess going, yay, cupcake board game! Was it a good board game at least? Was it at least, you know... Because I can't deny, Disney Princess and Cupcake makes me think, I don't think I'd enjoy that. But sometimes even the cutesiest nonsense yields some decent actual decent mechanics, which is all nice. I'm okay-ish. We had quite the false start earlier on, because this is technically supposed to be Final Fantasy XIII-2. It's not. It's World of Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy XIII-2 refused to work repeatedly. So there you go. Just sat on my own. Daughter wanted to play, but I'm like, no, my cupcakes. Exactly. It's what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah, really.
I don't think it's the sort of one you want for a daughter. You know, Disney Princess Cupcake is not suitable for daughters, I don't think.
Are you the kidding? That name definitely gets an F.
He deserves an H.
An H?
He deserves a slap.
Go down to F.
Extra.
Oh, hello.
Read all about it.
What do you the one here, Serapi?
In case you're wondering, you can use the prism case anywhere you find one of these gates.
You've got these rubber cupcake parts. I see. Got to flip cards to get all the parts for a cake, then you have to build it. Interesting. Where does the Disney Princess part come in? Are you playing as Disney Princesses? Throughout Grimoire, you will find shining gates, like the one you see here. Approaching a gate will connect it to the main gate, Ninewood Hills. Once it's linked up, you can use the gate to travel anywhere you've already been. Exit gates are special one-way doors for leaving dungeons, so they're not accessible from the main gate in Ninewood Hills. Basically fast travel. As you would progress through the story, a chronicle of your travels is recorded. I can't read today. If you haven't dropped by Grimoire in a while, this is a great way to catch up. And select Miniventures to have a peek at quests and errands you've undertaken. Naturally, you can stop by to check your progress, but you can also collect quest rewards here too. That is what I plan on doing. Nothing to do with the game, you just put the ball gown on. Nice. Right, I suppose we can still use the save point down here after all then, because I'm assuming you're going to allow me to go down here this time. But she's got a pot on her head. And there we go, finally. We can get the save point we were looking for. And I just pushed no to the save point. Son of a bitch. There we go. This time I've done it correctly. Super. I don't know how to exit this game. Okay, return to the title screen is probably a good first step to getting out of this game. I know the graphics can't be changed. It's an awkward situation, but it's fine. I shouldn't need to change the graphics now.
World of Final Fantasy.
World of Final Fantasy. Do you want a World of Final Fantasy? I can give you a World of Final Fantasy. I can show you the world. The world of Final Fantasy. It is a majestic place with people wielding gun blades. A whole new gun blade. Yes, in fairness, actually, Final Fantasy XIII had a whole new gun blade. A gun blade for lightning, yes. Whoops. It's lucky that wasn't the X, that was the minimise. Snow White has an apple on top. That's quite cool in a if I liked Disney more than I do sort of way. I do quite like some of the Disney films. I do still have Aladdin is of course still one of my favoured things of all times. I have fond memories of both the film and the giant book thing, which was I think basically the story of the film just in book form. But it used to be read to me as a very, very, very small child. And that was very pleasant memory, frankly. Anyway, let's pop on over to our interim slideshow. One day I will actually build a sort of end phase type thing, and then I'll probably just leave. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth doing a little raidy. Although there are a few people, but I don't know. Let's have a quick look, see if there's anybody of interest or note. Anybody turned up there? Anybody turned up there? Anything here? Anything there? What's happening in here? Oh, I am an apostrophe. I see. Yes. Now see, I wanted an apostrophe earlier, but I wasn't allowed one. Tell you what, since I'm in the Discord, I'm going to do a little bit of admin. Bum 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 bum. I said bum 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 bum. Ooh, bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. It's about as far as we got. Nah, I think I'll leave it. I don't think it's worthwhile exploring a raid on this occasion, so we'll leave that one. If you are after entertainments for tonight, I'll do it this way so that you get a little taster, a taste test of the sort of thing you could look forward to. There is, of course, Mr. Malus Kalubers.
The suit of armour proved to be largely useless against even the simplest hazards. Which begs the question why I even bother to wear it. But I still will, I suppose. Maybe I just like the colour. Oh dear. I don't know how long I can keep that going. I really don't. I'll try. In any case, I found a small piece of the map I had not yet explored fully. And so I mobilised my way through molten lava to reach it. Hoping against hope that there'd be something there that meant something, but probably knowing in the depth of my soul that there wasn't.
Now you too can make him talk like that, because one of his redeemables is in fact to do northern accent. or Yorkshire, I think, specifically Yorkshire Malus you can get your hands on, if he allows you to, I suppose. He might not want you to get your hands on his Yorkshire Malus, Yorkshire Malus even. But, you know, sometimes you just can't help yourself. Sometimes you can't help yourself. You gotta reach out and grab your Yorkshire Maluses. They're like puddings, but with, I don't know, more games. Anyway, that's your entertainments for tonight. If you so choose. That will be 9 o'clock-ish. It's usually well past 9 o'clock, but 9 o'clock is the approximate goal. And I will be back on probably Wednesday, where I've still got a couple of demos left. As I say, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to be viable or not, because I don't know whether they'll work, but, you know, Wednesday I've always got a backup plan. We've still got a Sid Meier's Civilization game going, and there's always other options as well, I'm sure. Obviously, Wednesday is very much never touch a northerner without asking. In fairness, never touch anybody without asking first. You may get hurt whether they're a northerner or a southerner or a westerner or an easterner. They may make you painful and suffer. Anyway, be back Wednesday, then be back Thursday, and then probably be back next week for SaturJay RPG again, where we'll continue doing World of Final Fantasy. I will have to try and fix Final Fantasy XIII-2, but for now, we'll just continue doing World of Final Fantasy, because that was... Luckily, I had three Final Fantasy games in mind, thinking, I'm not sure which one I fancy. And then I finally settled on Final Fantasy XIII-2, and turns out it didn't work. So, but as I say, fortuitously, I suppose, I did have 2 spare options in my mind in order to fix that problem, I suppose. But yeah, next week should be a little bit more from the beginning all the way to the end will be World of Final Fantasy, where we will try and catch more critters. Specifically, they're called mirages. Anyway, cheerio. I will see you all around some other time.